we don't get sick because it's cold here all the time. So when we do, it's
Mm-hmm.
that we don't have that immunity because it's so cold. Even colds can't survive here.
Now, anytime I cough is
Hmm.
because I have a terrible lifestyle
Right.
and I
Yes.
smoke and drink way too much.
Well,
So
what is too much?
I think it's somewhere around about 10% less than what I actually do.
Sure. Yeah.
Right, my TV remote, I gotta turn on it. Do you want to send the uh, Twitter TPTV fucking watch us now
Link.
link tweet? I did one earlier. But...
Sweet. Yeah, yeah. I'll retweet because the TPTV account automatically puts one out, and I still don't know how it does it.
It's magic. It's witchcraft.
Well, I set it up one day, and I can't remember where I set it up or how I set it up. So now it just has this kind of blanket, like I'm live, instead of doing a custom one every day. I don't know where it is, and I don't want to have two of them. So what are we to do?
Google it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, I think I need to just reverse because you can do it 100 different ways. So I think what it is it's either Streamlabs or Stream Elements, and it's somewhere like in, you got to click on 1,700 things that I never click on because it's a one and done setup kind of thing usually. But I'm
Now,
an idiot.
I mean, no. I'm criticizing you, right? I'm criticizing you, but we've been doing this now for over a month.
Yeah.
And I still haven't Googled how to set up the background thing, right? But I don't give a fuck. This is my background now.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It is.
Ooh.
I mean, you want to see the graphics here, right? It's almost tactile. Like, it's almost as if you can feel it.
Yeah. Well, and
You
you know what I really like about that couch?
know? Right.
It reminds me of another famous black couch.
Oh no, is this going to be a porn thing? Is this going to be like a casting couch fucking
It
thing?
reminds me of the casting couch. It
Oh
reminds me of
no.
but more. Yours is more. It looks more consensual. That's
Yeah,
your couch.
mine isn't plastered with cum.
Are you
It
sure?
isn't. It isn't. It isn't. That
Okay.
settee that's plastered with cum. All right.
Okay.
I gotta turn. I'm gonna turn the camera for a sec because that one, it was a black settee, but now it's gray.
Oh, that makes
Right.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And that's the cum couch.
Yeah. I'm on board now. Okay, you've convinced me. I believe that.
I wouldn't use my cum couch on your stream, mate. I have too much respect for you.
Well, thank you. But you're
Yeah.
more than welcome. But that's I get it. I get it.
Right, and that image of my cum couch is just for you, right? That's not for our viewers.
No, we won't. We won't. We'll maybe do that on like behind the scenes. We could do
Yeah.
a BTS.
Once we reach 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? It is subs.
Let's do follows. Let's set the bar a little lower because subs they're paying for subs on this channel. But follows.
Yeah, they're gonna pay to see my cum couch, mate. They'll line up around the block, but
what about our first? Let's get a Patreon, and that can be with our first Patreon drop. $5 a month.
Yeah,
you get to see behind the scene things like Bees Cum Couch.
Yeah. Once they reach like I don't know how it works. So once they reach like level 10 or whatever, then they can actually see someone come on.
Oh, like a live coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's great.
We can pretend it's performance art.
Yes.
And what it'll actually just be is me having a wank on a settee.
Well, that's kind of all this whole channel is, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. Certainly what our podcast is. It's just me having a wank on a settee. This is just masturbation for me.
100%. I'm gonna fix. Katie, thank you so much for that lurk. I'm just gonna fix this lighting and then let's get going because we don't have music. They're just listening to our stupid voices.
Well, my stupid voice. You've got a lovely voice. You can't hear me now, but I just complimented his voice. His voice is so nice. I wish I had his voice. He sounds like a radio person. Oh, he's running away. Gone forever. It's just you and me now, Katie. Katie, 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 Katie. I think the name Katie has got way too much letters in it. I think you only need the letters K and T. The rest are redundant. What do you think about that, Katie? Well, I think that's very an interesting point, B-Facts. Well, Katie, I do make some very interesting points. Thank you very much. Now, I would offer to show my nipples for subs, but I think that gets us banned off Twitch. Oh, here he is.
Woo! Okay, let's.
Yeah,
shall we get to it?
Yeah, sure. I was just telling our viewers that I would offer to show my nipples for subs, but I'm pretty sure that gets you kicked off Twitch.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think I'd have to have like little bits of tape over my nipples.
Yeah, like a pasty.
I think that's how they. Yeah, I think that's how they get around it. Or nipple tassels. Oh my god, we gotta do a nipple tassel stream.
Can we do a whole? Yes, we must do a whole episode in nipple. Well, let's. Speaking of nipple tassels, let's just get to this. Let's get right down to it. Let's switch it over. Here we are.
Ooh,
guys.
Okay.
Woo! Welcome to the Bens and the Bees. Number 5. The bees and the Ben.
The
B.
What? Ben is and the B is.
That's right. That's right. I fixed it. This week, guys. This podcast. Every single week, we bring a subject to you that we have researched extensively, and we want to educate you on this subject, and we want to shed light on one topic every single week. B, what are we looking at this week?
Inventions. You were breaking out a little bit there. I don't know if you overblew your mic or something. You broke out for me, at least.
Yeah, I probably did. I was playing. Can you hear that?
I can't. Well, music. I can't hear that.
Yeah. Okay. You couldn't hear that. Okay. Anyways, guys, we're looking at inventions today. We've been doing just extensive research over the past week. I've been a fan of inventions really my entire adult life. I think they're handy. I think it's a great reflection, on human ingenuity and the fact that we are on top of the food chain as the dominant force on Earth. It was beautiful. Now, B, do you have any favorite inventions? Where do you want to kick off with this?
Well, I mean, I think start with good inventions is a good start.
Sure.
Favorite good inventions. My favorite invention is probably the atomic bomb.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah, no, I think the atomic bomb, not only are they really fucking cool, but they solve a lot of problems. I mean, you look at World War II, they solved the problem of way too many Japanese people, right? With nuclear bombs. And, I think that's something we can all approve of.
And look, what I really like about it, so that may have been a problem, for...
It was a problem in the 40s, at least. It's not a problem these days.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
We've got about the right number of Japanese people now.
Yeah,
Back in the 40s, it was a big, big problem.
sure. Yeah,
But
and
it,
it's interesting how things have kind of shifted because the numbers, if you look at the per capita, things
mm,
haven't really changed that much. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this whole sentiment. And the thing that I really like about nuclear bombs,
mhm,
really, really like, of course, death, destruction, elimination
mhm,
of an
mhm.
entire area. Um,
Radiation poisoning.
I love so radiation is my number two. I
Mm.
love the radiation poisoning. The year, what, 70, 80 years later,
Now,
fetuses are still,
again, radiation poisoning.
yeah.
We've got that was a wonderful invention by Marie Curie,
Mm-hmm.
who it famously invented dying of cancer from radiation poisoning.
Yes. Yes.
And again, wonderful. We got so much to thank to Marie Curie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, incidentally, what I really like about the whole research process, and again, we're very well researched into this, but the whole
Yes.
research process of the nuclear bomb
Mm-hmm.
were the fuck ups, right?
Yep.
Um, Now, have you ever heard of the Castle Bravo experiment?
No.
Now, this is a real thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
They made a nuclear bomb and it was detonated at Bikini Atoll,
Yes.
the place where SpongeBob SquarePants is based,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right? And they made a neutron bomb, but they didn't fully understand what they were doing, and this what was meant to be a 5 or 6 megaton explosion actually ended up being one of the largest explosions ever made.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
Go on YouTube now, right, and
Mm-hmm.
just type in the words Castle Bravo, right, and the first video, right, it'll be footage from a plane that is there doing the research.
Mm-hmm.
The I actually I looked into this. I do like my big nukes, right? The biggest one was the Tsar bomber, which you
Okay.
may have means it was a Russian bomb, which was like fucking 250 megatons or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It like legitimately could have burnt the atmosphere. Oh, there we go. Um, but like the second or third largest explosion ever was this, right? And I wanted to play the sound as well because it's just the sound of the aeroplane, just the engine of this aeroplane, but it's a haunting fucking sound if
All
you
right.
consider what you're looking
Yeah.
at,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, this was a major nuclear fuck up.
Okay. Let's take a look. This might be a. This might not be the
It's
video.
about no, that's it.
Oh, is it?
Oh
Jeez.
yeah, right. Like that explosion was going up to the height of commercial jets.
Bro, that tickled God's anus, that.
And you can see the clouds are forming but in those layers, and
Jesus.
it's fucking horrifying, but like genuinely fucking terrifying.
What
And
an
that sound,
invention.
oh, brilliant! We love it. A whole bunch of people died and got cancer and stuff like that. It was a major political fuck up between Japan and America. You know, big.
Classic them.
But
Classic them.
classic Japanese kicking off that
Yeah.
we gave a bunch of the people radiation poisoning.
Yeah. Right, and like, come on, America's got to be free. So
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
we to do here?
Now, I'm hoping you closing that fixes this
Yes.
because no, I'm gonna have to leave.
Okay. No worries. No
Be back.
worries. Um, we'll get down to the bottom of this one day. Um, excuse me. That's the power of invention is so incredible, and especially with this kind of thing.
Mm,
I do I like it when things go completely awry, especially with powerful inventions like this. But I
Yep.
also like, and this is my number one thing about nuclear bombs that I enjoy, and it's the names and the name they give them such good names,
Yep. The
Um,
Fat Boy.
oh,
What was it? Was it the little kid?
Little John, Fat Boy, and
It was those. It was little. I think it was little kid or something like
Little
that.
Boy, Fat Boy, and Little Boy.
Was it Fat Boy and Little Boy?
The Little Boy type of bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, and the Fat Man, and Little Boy.
It's the Fat Boy. That's the weapon from Fallout, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah,
Which would make sense.
Yeah.
Which would make a ton of sense. I love nukes, man. I think that's a great invention, and I'm glad you brought that up first.
More nukes.
Yeah.
More nukes. I think, right, in America, they have the right to bear arms.
Oh,
now, why doesn't that include nuclear arms?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think every American, as both of us, we're red-blooded American men.
Yes.
And I think we have the right as Americans to bear nuclear arms. I mean, it just makes sense. It shall not be infringed. Says it right there.
Yeah,
The right to bear arms.
And here's something I don't know if you've heard, and Real Baby Yoda, thank you so much for that juicy lurk and that subscription. We appreciate it so very much. Thank you. I hope your workday is going well.
Way better than the fake Baby Yoda.
Right, Real Baby Yoda 420, amazing human being. Now,
fake Baby Yoda's a cunt.
Big thumbs down for fake Baby Yoda. B, I don't know if you've heard our man, friend of the show, Tim Pool, right-wing commentator, fellow beanie enthusiast, but he has, I don't want to point it out, much less hair than me.
No hair.
Yeah.
But again, that's not his fault. He is still one of the most masculine men you'll know.
Well, and he had something. I'm just trying to pull up the clip right now. I think I found it. Now, I want to play something for you that I think is going to just kind of reinforce where we're at. And maybe I'll just play the audio of it so we don't mess up the...
Okay, if we only need audio, maybe that'll work, but...
Oh, I don't know how you're going to hear the audio.
Oh, well, then you best play the video then, mate, and I'll just leave and come back in again.
Yeah, because it's good. It's really good.
We need to work out what the fuck is happening with my phone.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get down to the bottom of this. So this is Tim Pool talking about nuclear weapons and American citizens. So let's take a look.
The Second Amendment protects your right to own nuclear weapons. I believe an individual citizen in this country has a right to own a nuclear warhead.
But not a delivery device?
Oh, all of it. I think...
Tim, what about biological weapons?
Yeah. Absolutely. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep, that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
It is a good idea. Now, I gotta... hey!
There we go. We got it back.
Yeah, no. 100%. Everybody has the right to have biological or nuclear weapons, neutron bombs, some kind of new thing that we don't know about yet. Right?
I'm thinking half biological, half mechanical.
Yep.
Virus.
Yeah, like the Borg, right?
Exactly like the Borg, but with more like super AIDS.
Yeah, super AIDS, you should be able to have that and be able to shoot that at the government.
Sure.
Right? 'Cause,
whoever crosses you, really. Whoever comes onto your property, your own personal property, your business property, anything you own. If someone looks at you funny in a way that you don't like.
My mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, don't even.
Yep.
Bringing moms into this, I'm dropping it all.
Oh, mate, it's Armageddon. Armageddon.
Yeah.
And quite rightly so. It's the only sensible course of action.
Yeah. Now, Please.
You asked me a question.
Sure.
I'm gonna ask you now, right? You, Ben.
Please.
What's your favorite invention?
See, this is, and I think we're on the same page here. I think we're at, like with the nuclear bombs, it really is, that's our present day greatest invention, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to go
yeah.
back,
I do feel like I stole that idea from you, because I think if I'd asked you
yeah.
first, you probably would have said nukes.
Well, but
You
here's the
know,
thing. Here's the thing. I want to take it back now because
right?
present day greatest invention, nukes, easy money.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go to the number one. The first great invention really was the wheel.
The wheel is a pretty good invention.
Right? Invented in
Um,
1723
yeah,
by Margaret Thatcher the first.
yeah.
Uh,
Whose middle name was Wheel. That's
yes,
where it came from. Yeah.
Margaret Wheel Thatcher the first in 1726, and obviously in Morocco the wheel was invented.
Because it
Now
was made of rocks.
exactly. Now this people don't know this truth. People don't know this truth. Morocco
Yeah.
is very rocky. It's much rockier than
Yeah.
people think. And
It's more Rocco.
exactly. And the people of Morocco needed an easier way to get around. They were tired of tripping over all these stones and all this. So they not only invented the wheel, but they invented paved roads, right? Like cobblestone,
Yeah.
because they had
Yeah.
more rocks than everyone else. And that just spread throughout the lands, throughout the globe. And I think the invention of the wheel in Morocco in 1726 was really catapulted us. It was only a couple of years later we started discovering penicillin, rocket fuel. It kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, exactly. And really quickly too.
Yeah,
Like the time between the wheel and jet fuel is like, 150 years.
maybe, right? So,
You know?
that's my favorite kind of OG, if you will, invention. Because I do
I
like roads.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we go in old school,
Mm-hmm.
I quite like the idea of the printing press,
Yeah.
mainly because I consume a lot of porn,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, porn simply wouldn't have existed without those monks making little shapes of boobies on the printing press, and
Slamming it down. And
um,
what about the sack dips?
slamming it up. Sack dips. Oh my god, that was fucking inspired.
Right.
Like the idea of dipping your sack
Yeah.
in some ink,
Yeah.
blotting it down, and
Mm-hmm.
and leaving that impression. Honestly, that was fucking inspired, and it fills you with hope for the future. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the next dick ball
Ball
dip?
dip? What is the next ball
Be the
dip?
next,
You,
what's the modern day internet equivalent?
you know what? I don't know what it's gonna be, but I know who's gonna do it.
Papa Musk.
Papa Musk. You're goddamn right. It's
Papa Musk.
Papa Musk. He's
Fucking
gonna
right.
lead us into the future of ball dipping. With those monks, Felanius Monk, the first one to dip,
Yep.
in the blue ink, and then his sister dipped her balls in the black ink, and then they mixed it together, and they found that perfect shade.
I'll be honest with you. That shade is why I like you so much. Is because it's the same color as your eyes.
Yeah. I'm
And
so fortunate. And
you
as the
are.
legend tells, you can trace my ancestry back to the area, whether how much of it is true, I don't know, but thank you for pointing that out and bringing up some of my heritage.
No, I've like it was the first thing I drew to you. I was like, those are haunting eyes. That
Thank you.
color, it
Mhm.
reminds me of the original ball dippers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you are fortunate. I got sort of a muddy brown thing going on.
But
It's
but
not
ball
quite the
dipping
same.
had to start somewhere. Ball
It
dipping
did.
had to start somewhere, right? So we can't glaze over the muddy brown ball dippings, of the start,
Yeah,
Um,
well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you go back to, the 1500s where they were first creating colors,
mhm,
and they'd mix up some bugs and some dirt, and they go, "Oh, that's a color,"
mhm.
We'll call that brown,
Yeah,
and a lot of colors were basically brown back in the day.
most, I think.
Most colors were brown back in the day, and
You can see it in the
and
pictures.
yeah, um, and the once they started realizing that they could dip their balls
Mm,
and create these wonderful, wonderful tones.
mhm.
I mean, Leonardo, wouldn't have been nothing. He would have done nothing. The Last Supper would have been a horrible melange of brown.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
browns,
know?
the spiciest color would have been in like an orange,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
and not
spiciest we would
even
have
a
got.
nice, not even a nice orange.
No, curry
You
puke
know,
orange, you know.
curry puke orange, sort of baby poo orange.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean, we've got a lot to thank to Felonious Monk
Yeah.
and his sister's balls.
I 100% agree. So let's I don't know, let's talk about the inventors, we've talked
Okay.
about some inventions. Let's talk about some of our favorite inventors. Thelonious Monk is the top of my list,
Yeah.
obviously Papa, um, Papa Elon, let me
Mm,
suckle, on
yeah.
your TDs.
He invented the rocket,
Yep,
the drill,
yep,
the flamethrower,
yep,
uh, killing monkeys.
yep.
Uh,
D-
Twitter. He invented Twitter,
yeah,
and he made it much better than it was before he'd invented it.
and topical, to me this week. He was at the ground stages of PayPal. So
Yeah, yeah, I heard about. Yeah, yeah. Have you made any progress on that at all? Uh, I noticed how PayPal support basically ignored us.
oh, and they will. They will. The only live support they do is if you need to sign up for an account. They will not do live support if you have a problem and there's no like my shit got hacked. But so Elon, helped start PayPal, which continually does not screw over little people.
That's right.
And
It's never lost anybody any money. Not
no,
once.
not
Not
once.
not because Elon Musk,
Hmm.
Papa Musk, would
Yeah.
not let that happen. He
No, and
wouldn't let it
he
happen.
wouldn't. He wouldn't. He has an
He
umbrella
makes.
shading us from the harsh rays of reality. You know,
Mhm. And he is full of good ideas. Good ideas.
such good
You know.
ideas. So yeah, him, Felonious Monk are up there for me. But do you have any? Do you have any kind of standout, underdog inventors that you particularly like?
Oh, underdog inventors. Well, I mean, I already mentioned Marie Curie, who invented cancer.
Yeah, big
Uh,
shouts out. Big shouts. Where would
e-
we be without cancer?
exactly.
Hmm.
But an underdog, I'd say the guy who invented self-disgust.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Now, if you look at his writings, and it's sort of unattributed, it's all to anon,
Sure.
because he was so upset with himself
Hmm.
that he'd invented self-disgust that he made sure that nobody knew his name. So an unsung hero of mine,
Like a
because
Rumpelstiltskin, if you will.
yeah, because I mean, I am filled with self-disgust.
Hmm.
I take it very seriously. It is a major part of my life, and
Hmm.
I've got Anon to thank for that. I just, an underdog who can look at himself and just go, you know, that's the man for me.
Yeah.
Oh no, what have I done?
Oh.
Well,
think of all the things that would have happened. All the negative things that would have happened without self-disgust. And not even
exactly.
just self-awareness. We need disgust. If you think men are bad now,
Yep.
bro, people have no idea.
Just think of what we've been like if we didn't at least feel disgusted by our own existence.
I literally cannot imagine.
There'd be frogs raining from the sky. There'd be hell.
There'd be way more cum.
There'd be way more cum.
Way more cum.
I mean, let's be fair. You never feel more disgust at yourself than after you've just come. Especially when it's self-inflicted cum. Once you've just done a wanky poo.
A selfie, I like to call them.
A selfie. A hand shandy.
Mm-hmm.
There is that 10 to 30 seconds afterwards where you're like, oh my God, what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
What have I wrought upon this life, this world? Oh my God, did I really just wank off to SpongeBob SquarePants porn?
Yeah.
They'd be, because you just do it again without self-disgust. You just do it immediately, straight away.
Yes.
And
we've all seen those Sandy pictures. Come on.
She is a straight up hottie.
Right? It's Gen Z's Jessica Rabbit,
Yes. Now, fun fact, I never actually watched SpongeBob SquarePants, but I know a bunch of the memes.
What?
It's like straight up, I've never actually watched, but I'm a 38-year-old man. I'm surprised you've watched SpongeBob SquarePants.
Me? I've watched SpongeBob since day one. I think I was in grade 8 or 9, and I immediately.
Why is it that old?
SpongeBob is like 20. Let me search it up. Let's search it up.
Again, if you say it's 20 years old, I was a fully grown-up ass man.
Okay, hold on.
When that
1999. 1999.
All right. Okay. So I probably was in the air. I was about 15, 16 then.
Yeah. You were high school. I was just coming into high school kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. So
or just about to.
I was much more of an nerdy guy.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say it makes sense that you'd miss it because for me, it hadn't caught up with pop culture that it was for stoners yet. So everyone's like, it's for kids, but I've always been a cartoon guy. Like, I don't give a fuck, So I liked it because it was silly and ridiculous. And then I think the culture later on, it was when I started smoking weed in my adulthood, people were like, oh, it's for stoners. And I was like, yeah, totally, for sure. I need weed for this. I just like it.
I only enjoy it when I'm high.
Exactly.
Whoever invented weed, that guy was awesome.
Well, that was actually Jesus Christ himself.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't look into that. I meant to, but I forgot.
So speaking of early inventors, JC, our boy who's lined up with our other boys, Tim Pool, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, all these guys, like they're like true the Sigma males.
Heroes.
The heroes of the earth, that have never caused a problem ever for any reason. Their names have never been used, to incite violence on any giant groups of people. Never have, never will. Aren't definitely actively doing that right now. So JC in the early days, he's vibing, right? Like all he had, and now this is true. You can look it up in the Bible, and I did research on it. It was like page 725, 6.
My dog has something she definitely shouldn't have.
Please.
Oh my God, that's horrifying. No, that's bad and wrong.
What was it?
It was, right. So I'm a slob, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an absolute slob. I don't cook.
Sure.
because well, I mentioned I don't have a sense of smell. I don't take
Right.
much. I don't take much joy from cooking or eating, particularly. So I got like microwave burgers, and there was a little sachet of sauce, like burger sauce,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and she's somehow found it somewhere and was nibbling on this little sachet of sauce. So I'm sure she enjoyed it, but it was manking.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh, is manking a word you know?
I know it, but because I hang out with British people.
Right. For you, for the audience, it means basically disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But
I forget what we were talking about.
invention.
Oh Jesus Christ,
Jesus,
and
how could we forget?
marijuana. Jesus Christ and marijuana. They go hand in hand like Laverne and Shirley. So Jesus
Mhm.
Christ invented marijuana because he was bored. The earth was, God invented the earth, as we know, in 7 days, around the Mormon, whenever they
6,000 years
said.
ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like just a hot second ago. And Adam and Eve, classically the first humans, God was like, bro, I'm going to make some humans. Then he rips Adam's rib out, and then he makes a lady lesser than, as the Bible said, lesser than.
Because they're only made of ribs.
Exactly. And Jesus was, this isn't talked about too much. He was garden adjacent. So Adam and Eve were in the garden. They're naked as hell. What do you think Jesus is doing?
Of course. Fuck all else to do because nothing had been invented then.
Exactly. So God's looking at it. He's like, my son is all he's doing is jerking it. All he's doing is jerking it. And then he gave him the inspiration of invention. So Jesus Christ, actually, at the start of the earth, was the first man to have invention inspiration. He was really number one.
I suppose that's why he looks like a white hippie.
Exactly why he's a white hippie. And
he definitely looks like me and you.
Yeah. Little handsomer, but yeah. So there he was jerking off. He got inspiration to invent something, and that's what he did. He invented marijuana. He said, I'm going to invent this plant that just people can vibe to, and it makes jerking off pretty cool sometimes. Because he wanted to make his experience a little better, but by tricking his dad a bit and saying, there's all these other applications, though, Dad. Really, his intention was for a little chill jerk sesh.
To enhance his jerking experience.
But it has all these other benefits because he was trying to trick his dad, aka God. So, the first invention being marijuana, I think is quite fitting. For the earth we live on, it's very chill.
What I really like as well is that God is famously very easy to trick.
Yes.
Like, now, how familiar are you with your Bible?
Relatively so.
Oh, I by the sounds of that, you come from a religious household. Is that right?
Yeah.
No, I don't. But I've read various religious texts. Now, my two favorite stories in the Bible. One is Job, the story of Job, where basically the devil tricks God into just punishing this poor fucking guy. And not poor guy, he was a rich, wealthy, he was doing well, he had a good life, good family, and that. But the devil's like, that guy, he really likes you, right? I bet he wouldn't if you fucking ruined him. And he's like, God's like, I bet he would, because he's a fucking idiot. And so, yeah, the God was famously very easy to trick. The other favorite story of mine in the Bible is from Kings 2, or Second King, which is the story of, I forget which king it was, like Methuselah or something, and he's walking towards the city, and these kids come up, like 40 kids come up and start making fun of him for being bald. and they're going, bald head, and he's like, you can't fucking call me bald. Rah! And he does a magic spell, and he summons 2 she-bears, and they kill 40 children for calling him bald. And I think that's the appropriate response. Now,
Yeah.
if he had nuclear arms, he
Mhm.
wouldn't have needed magic.
And
They were just
that's right, and that leads us into the next thing we should talk about. Inventions
Right.
and magic. You know,
Mm.
where do we stand with Merlin? Where do we stand? You know, self-proclaimed magicians, but throughout history, we just kind of see them as inventors now.
Now, I've done a lot of research into this, Ben, and there's only one confirmed actual magician in all of history,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is David Blaine,
It's.
right?
I'm not even joking. That's the name I was gonna say. That's
Right,
no word of a
right,
lie. Because I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. He's a magician. The
Yeah.
guy did the flying thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? He levitated, which definitely wasn't him just standing on one foot,
No,
right?
never
And
is.
camera trick,
Yeah.
right? He lived in a block of ice for 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was suspended in London while people droned burgers up to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was so proud. I'm sorry, I'm breaking character, but I was so proud of the UK when he hung himself over the Thames and he just threw eggs at him. It was so fucking brilliant. He's like, I'm gonna do 40 days and 40 nights in a box above the Thames. You know, honest, really honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people were just like, I'm playing you wanker.
Very British. It's a crazy place to do that. He should have done it in a more respectful, like where people don't fuck with, you know.
Like he could have got away with it in Vegas.
Vegas,
You know?
anywhere in Japan.
Anywhere in Japan.
Maybe
I-
France.
Ooh.
Hit or miss.
I don't
Hit or
know.
miss. Like a rich
I
part of
don't-
Paris, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and now, all right, where's the place you think it would have gone down the worst? His witchcraft, his actual magic. Where do you think I think
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia would have hung him as a heretic, as some sort of demon.
Ooh, see, I feel like they may lift him up and revere him as a
Like a prophet or
yeah, ish, right? Like even if they're not religious over there, or like you know, I think he could
Saudi
be revered.
Arabia is famously a very non-religious
Yes.
country.
Yes, and that really ties in, you know, with the inventions that we've been talking about, because obviously the invention of the printing press really helped with spreading science, you know, and the printing press really helped, and the people who controlled these printing presses really helped kind of spread the word of science and education to people that didn't have access to it. It really was utilized and still is to this day the best way it can be, you know, and that is by spreading correct information to the masses.
Now, I got to ask you this then, Ben, because we talked a lot about positive, good inventions that we
Yeah.
both really like.
Yeah.
You know, like cancer and nuclear bombs.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is a bad invention? What do you think like is something we could really have done without?
The compass.
The compass. Now, are you talking about the thing that tells you which direction to go,
Yeah.
or
Why do
that
we need
weird
it?
triangly spiky thing that you use
Both.
in math?
Both.
Both anything with the word compass in it.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Let me start with the one that tells you where to go. Why the fuck? I just Google Maps it, okay?
That is true.
Right? So
That is true. That's the point.
miss me with that one. It's already gone out the window. Done. Why are
No.
we even talking about it? Why is it so famous? Why do pirates like it? Get fucked. I'm done with you. You know, Google Maps, move over. The one with the pointy thing, number one, it's a weapon. We shouldn't allow those in the schools. I will go to the grave.
There's an animal behind you! Look out, Ben!
Ah!
So I saw an animal behind you.
No, they're all over. they're wrestling.
Hey! Oh my God!
So number one, I don't think we should have. Sorry, let me be specific. When I said no weapons in schools, no, I don't think we should have non-projectile weapons in schools, right? So a compass, it's pointy, it's a non-projectile weapon. Get it out of schools.
Right. Get it out of there. But say a catapult or a trebuchet
Sure.
or
Yep.
an AK-47,
Get 'em in
for
there.
example.
Get them in
Get
there.
them in there. Everybody should have one.
Yes.
You know.
Well, we need good guys
and the
to
only
have
way-
them to get
Yeah,
rid of the bad guys with them.
That's right. And I think that the like, you know, there's literally always a high-profile school shooter in America. I think the only way to solve that is by giving the teachers nuclear weapons.
Yeah, and biological weapons, nukes,
Biological weapons.
and biological weapons, easily.
Like this is going back to Tim Pool. This is why you got a sore spot on.
Yeah,
It's the only way you can reasonably solve the problem without actually solving the problem. I think more guns. The only way to deal with a problem revolving around guns
you need more of
is
them.
to add more of them. Just keep putting them
Yes.
in there. Just keep and eventually, everyone will be dead.
Yeah.
No problem.
No problem. No people, no problem.
No people, no problem. No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah.
No AK-47.
Exactly. So B, that's my invention. I didn't think it was good. What about you? Let me ping pong the question back to you.
Now you'd be surprised to hear this, but I didn't actually think what my answer would be to this question. But now that you've forced it on me, I would say something that we could do without is the invention of this podcast.
Yes.
Right. I think this has just been a blight on humanity. I think we are responsible for far more deaths than reasonably should be accepted. I think we spread a lot of misinformation, to be honest with you, Ben.
Now, are you referring?
No. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I just want to clear this up because I know where you're going. I just want to clear this up. All of the information that we give you is factually correct.
Yeah.
It's well researched, right? But this was a horrible idea. Like nobody should ever have had this idea. And yet here we are.
And that's the thing as well, you know, because I'm with you on that. You know, I'm with you on that. I think this has been a devastating for the people, but I think because, you know, yes, misinformation, you know, about our personal lives might get out there, but we are bringing facts about the real world to real people, and that's dangerous. You know, people are mad. I've been getting emails from, you know, billionaires saying stop educating the poors, your fellow poors. And I say to them, nay, my friend. Nay. We are out here every week.
Yep.
We are educating the people.
On the front lines.
On the front lines. Now, before we
on the front lines of the culture war, on the front lines of the information war,
and that's
on the front lines of World War III.
It's getting there.
You know. One last thing. I think you're about to go for a break. Is that
well? I thought we could talk about a couple more inventions, take a break, and then come back maybe for a little after show situation. I'm feeling pretty decent. You know what I mean?
That's good for me. Right. Well, what I want to discuss with you then. Now,
Mhm.
I know as a red-blooded American that
Yeah. Red, white,
that
and blue
you
blooded,
don't
by the way.
red, white, and blue due
Mhm.
to the oxidization process we've discussed in a previous podcast. Um, Now, I know that we've only ever eaten horrible biscuits. Now, have you ever had a nice biscuit?
A nice biscuit?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I've recently invented nice biscuits.
Holy shit.
Right?
Oh my God. I've only had
Right?
horrible biscuits.
Right? These are nice biscuits,
Oh my
right?
God. For those just listening, B's holding up a delicious looking package of something labeled by our dear friends at Towergate, labeled nice biscuits.
Nice biscuits, right? And these will change your fucking life, mate.
Yeah.
No more diarrhea.
Yeah.
No more projectile vomiting.
Yeah.
No more bleeding from the gums.
Mhm.
Right? Like these will change your fucking life. And I can't wait for them to go public. Right? These are in
Mhm.
alpha at the moment.
Sure.
But genuinely, once they solve all of the bugs, like these are gonna change. These are gonna change everything. But nice biscuits.
I'm
Rather
speechless.
than
Yeah.
rather than the disgusting, horrible slabs of concrete we've been eating, all these years since time immemorial.
Mhm. Mhm. So is that what you've been working on for the past like 3 weeks when we've been trying to link up and you've been like, I'm working on a secret
I'm
project?
busy. I'm fucking busy, but
Yeah.
I've been banging heads with my friends at Towergate. We've been trying to get. There's still a few niggling issues. There is the unexpected deaths
Yes.
that occur that
Always
we're
is.
trying to yeah, exactly. That's why they're in an alpha.
Mhm.
We've got a problem with what we call cellular propagation,
Sure.
which is if I leave these alone for too long without showing them to someone, they will multiply and eventually consume my room.
Oh,
Um,
now do they consume organic content as well as non-organic?
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's a really, really big problem.
Yeah.
Because what we found in some of the early tests is that if you eat a nice biscuit, it will eat you back, and that I don't think our customers will appreciate that.
I
But
know a large group of your customers that may appreciate that, but um mm, like 50% of them might want to be eaten back. But
now,
that's
instantly now, looking at the back here with the ingredients is almost all natural.
yeah.
We've got, let's see,
Now who's your target market with this product?
children, because they are highly addictive,
Mhm.
right? And you get them in early, you got a customer for life.
Just
It's
like
like
gambling.
cigarettes. Yeah, cigarettes, gambling, heroin. If you could make a child-friendly cigarette, say maybe in some sort of electronic form with various flavors,
You can
if
connect
you
it to
could
Wi-Fi.
connect it to Wi-Fi,
Yep.
like you want to get them young,
Yeah.
get them hooked young. You got a customer for life. Now, all we need to do is stop people dying from them. But even if they don't stop dying from them, I mean, I smoke, I'll probably die from them. And
Mhm.
I'm still buying it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not, as long as I can get them, get the kids buying them long enough for me to make a profit. I think we're onto something good here. And they taste really nice.
Mhm.
They're nice biscuits, not horrible biscuits.
What a novel idea. And it takes a future thinking, forward thinking, Elon
Mhm,
inspired young man such as yourself to do something like this. This is quite amazing.
mhm. Now I am quite the inventor. I've had some projects in the past, and I sent you a link earlier
Mhm.
on Twitter chat. I don't know if you saw it.
Let me pull it up. I did not. I don't think I saw it, but I'll pull it up. I can pull it up quick.
I sent you a link to a video. Now, I think you might have seen this one before. I'm not sure.
Blue
Right.
eyes?
Bee's eyes.
Bee's
Normal
eyes.
colors getting
All right. Now, that's where my profile picture on Twitter comes from. And it was an
Okay.
invention about 15 years ago that I invented. And it's the greatest invention of all time. So, if you want to play that in the audience while I go for a quickie wee,
Yes. Yes.
I'll be back in a minute.
Guys, we're gonna check out.
Actually, no, I want to see your reaction. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I thought you might have seen this before.
I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Normal
see your
colors
reaction.
getting you down? Tired of the same old visible spectrum? Wait. There is an answer. Bee's eyes. With our patented Bee's eyes hyper science, you too will be sensitive to 4 whole new colors. How about some grunk, splash, blam, and preble? Fortunately, we at Generic Tech have come up with a simple test to check your compatibility with our patented Generic Tech Bee's Eyes technology. If you can see this test card, you are definitely compatible with our technology. The world can be yours for a finite $18 billion.
Cheap?
Can you afford not to have Bee's Eyes?
Finite.
For more information, contact your nearest Generic Tech clinic. Bee's Eyes. For when normal eyes just suck. Side effects may include temporary or permanent blindness, brain damage, residual blueness, jungle fever, flatulence, rabies, dancing leg, numbness of the chin or hair, incessant buzzing, sugar addiction, morbid to industrial scale obesity, hairy back, itchy toe, and Scientology.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
That was an invention that
one
changed
bag.
the world. Oh, who's that man? I
I-
want to watch that.
Okay,
Whatever that is, I don't know what it is.
Full of full-time studio TV gear, plus gear for other events that we may have to attend.
I know, because children's pants are only this big. That's why.
Who is
Right, now
this?
We're going in his room at our
I
house
don't
and we're
know.
doing the
I
thing.
love him.
Now,
I like
now,
his shit.
To be fair, this is camera stuff.
You have another camera. thing
camera
in the-
stuff.
No,
What is-
the thing
Who
in
is
the truck
this?
for Sirius XM.
I don't know.
That's the
You're
broadcast-
playing it.
We're supposed to know who this is.
I don't know who that is. That's not mine.
I don't know
Right,
who
I
that
gotta
is.
leave. I gotta leave and rejoin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quick though. When you leave and rejoin, you got it. You got it now. It's just like boop,
Oh,
boop.
mate, I have worked out my.
Yeah. B, let's take a quick little bio break and then have a nice little after show. Guys, when we return, we're gonna be a little out of character and just vibing for the last little bit of show. Please stick with us. B, go take a piss. I'm gonna try to find some royalty-free music to play because all my stuff's not working. The camera will be on, the mics will be on. There'll just be loud music
I
in the
don't give a
background.
fuck.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, guys. We'll be right back. Do. Ooh. was good.
It was very good.
Oh my gosh, I needed that. Holy cow.
Oh God, yeah. I gotta reach over for another beer.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers, mate. That was fun. That was good.
Thank you. Mate, this is the most fun I get to have, like, so.
It's a blast.
I'm just always happy to be here, like, you know.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. You cut out there a little bit, but
you know that Castle Bravo thing I brought up earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've genuinely always been a little bit sort of interested in big explosions. I mean, not only are they cool, but they're kind of terrifying as well.
Yeah, like genuinely really scary.
Yeah. And I mean, I always like those explosion comparison videos where they go, oh yeah, this is what a stick of dynamite is like. This is what a Tomahawk missile is like. You know.
Yeah.
And with that one, with the Castle Bravo thing, what they did was, right, so they had this like two-phase bomb going on, which was sort of a new thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
A two-phase, what they call thermonuclear explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the fuel for it was lithium-6, right?
Okay.
But it was quite hard to get at the time. So they used like, sort of half of it was lithium-6, or a little under half of it was lithium-6, and then they filled the rest of it with lithium-7, right? And the understanding at the time was like, oh, well, it shouldn't make that much of a difference, right? But what it turns out is that if you bombard lithium-7 with neutrons or neutrinos or whatever it is that's happening in the reaction, it turns into more fuel for the explosion.
Oh,
right?
shit. As compared to lithium-6 that wouldn't have.
Which would have just exploded.
Oh, no.
Right? So that's why they thought it was only going to be like a 5 or 6 megaton explosion. It ended up being like 15, right?
Which is, it's like, and I don't think people always understand that it's such a large, like, when it comes to anything destructive, it's so much more when you're literally double, like
15 ED, that's enough. 15 megatons, I think they were saying, was the equivalent of every single explosive dropped in World War I and II combined.
Jesus.
In
one little package?
And that's including the 2 bombs they used in Japan, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Shit.
Like, legit. Like,
oh my God.
Like, Edie, that's enough. My dog's barking at something outside.
All
I
good,
don't know if
all
you can
good.
hear it.
No, you can't hear. Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is. I believe I've got company, but it's okay. We're gonna continue.
Okay, we can wrap it up too if you need to. Yeah.
No. It's fine. Now she sees them. It's fine. She's fucked off now. They're gonna go in a different room.
Okay. Yeah.
But no. Oh, wait. Owen, open it. Yeah, let it out. Let it go without. But sorry.
No, you're good.
But it's like the actual biggest nuke I mentioned earlier on was called the Tsar Bomber. It was a Russian one. And it's TSAR, Tsar, and then bomb with an A on the end.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And it was like a 25 megaton explosion. And like horrifying. Like you could see it something like 400, 800 miles away.
And like,
right?
It's...
The shockwave from the explosion circled the globe 3 times.
What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing with all this shit, man? We shouldn't have, like, we don't need that kind of power. It's just...
We really don't need that kind of power.
We don't, because it's not practical. It's so ridiculous. It's like, oh, I'm just going to fuck up the earth because you don't agree with me. Like, okay, guys, why did we do this? You know, what's going on here?
Hello, Uwu. Oh, I see. Uwu Park Uwu. Were my guests arriving?
Yes,
I
yes. I
see.
assumed. What up, boys? What up?
So it's like what you find now is like genuinely governments tend to have lots and lots of much smaller nukes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're what they call like your tactical or surgical nuclear strike, where they go, that bit of country is gone,
Yeah.
but the rest of it should be okay.
It's
Right?
like a flexing nuke, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you punch a guy in the gut, not in the dick.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a case of punching a guy in the gut rather than slicing him in two and pissing on the corpse.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was during obviously the Cold War
Mhm.
that America and Russia were having a big dick swinging competition, and they basically just went, well, what's the biggest one we can make? I was like the fact though with the first nuke with the Manhattan Project,
Mhm.
they legitimately, the scientists at the time were legitimately scared that they would burn the atmosphere
Yep.
off Earth,
Yep.
and they still fucking did it.
They thought this is that it's the scariest idea. Like it's the craziest thing that they're like, hey, we might all die, but it's better. You know what though? If you've it's even let me back this up. This idea that this half-cocked idea that I had. Let me back it up because
Alright.
they didn't even know. There's so many Americans. They got into the war. They literally didn't know about concentration camps. There was American soldiers that were coming upon these concentration camps, and they're like, "What the fuck?" They only went into the war because Japan bombed them. They didn't go in on this like
Yeah.
mighty, let's save this whole people. There's 6 million of this entire community that's been slaughtered. Let's go save them. No, they were like, they poked us. We're gonna poke them back.
Fuck you, pal.
And the soldiers were shocked. Like there were so many American soldiers, liberating these camps that they're like, what the fuck has been happening here? So it's strange that like, it's so weird that even with that, they didn't have this knowledge that they were like, we'll still roast the earth.
Yeah. Fuck
They
it.
wanted to
Let's
roast the
do it.
earth just because they got poked, not because
Yeah.
that's the craziest part for me. They're like, we'll roast the earth because we got poked, not because the alternative is something way worse. They weren't even thinking that. They were just
No,
thinking
they're
we
like-
got poked.
You're like, yeah. Fucking
That's-
come at me, bro.
It's a 21-year-old at a bar that just got bumped accidentally. It's just like, let's go, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
So
you looking
silly.
at me, missus?
Oh my god. That was so that's always been ridiculous. I'm so glad I'm too old to go to the bars anymore. People get crazy. Yeah,
You talk about bars. Like I go to old men pubs.
yes.
Right.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Now I don't know what old men pubs are like in Canada, but over here, old men pubs are usually they're very brown and very not grimy. Grimy's the wrong word, but sort of
Not shiny.
grungy.
Not shiny.
Yeah.
Not shiny. Yeah.
They're usually sort of 140-year-old buildings that have been there forever, and they're just full of these miserable old alcoholics, which will tell you their entire life story, usually with a couple of shreds of racism or homophobia chucked in.
Always.
Yeah. Oh my god, I popped out to town a while ago. Like this is like a month or 2 months back, and I sat down in the pub, killing time. I'm like, oh, I gotta be somewhere in an hour. I'll have a pint, And the news was on, and they were talking about like Black History Month or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And there's this guy next to me, and I mean next to me, right? We're both on the same bench, but we got 2 different tables. And he's mumbling and muttering to himself, and he's repeatedly out loud saying the N-word.
Oh,
And he's going,
fuck
oh,
off.
it is, right? And he's going like, oh, these blah, 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 they got no history. Well, what history? They were only just slaves. And I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna start talking to me about this in a minute, isn't he? Right? And I'm doing a crossword on my phone.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Anything to not drag that attention toward you.
Right. And at some point, because there's basically just me and him in this bar. It's like 1 PM,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he turns to me and he goes, oh, can I tell him something? And I goes, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't.
Yeah.
And he's like, sir, these fucking can't fucking say anything these days. Fucking, what did he say? These bleeding hearts, these fucking walkies. And I'm like, whatever,
Oh.
pal. You're just sitting there being racist and horrible as fuck about. And it was like, there were other stories. Every story that came up on the news, it weren't just the one about black. It was like, oh, these fucking immigrants.
Brings it around to his like crankiness every time.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely had like serious mental problems, but he was also a massive racist.
Yeah, and
no.
there's a point where like, and I get it, but my patience wears thin, you know. And I'm like, bro, this is because of the rhetoric that's being, you know, touted by or quote unquote non-mentally ill people, and then you know it's being picked up by these you know people that are like in innocence essentially in society, you know, nice, and and it's so tough to, like, you see. It's frustrating.
That was an upgrade.
Yeah, hell yeah. You see people like on the internet spouting this stuff like, you're clearly mentally ill, but you're repeating things that non-mentally ill people are saying, and they're profiting off of you, my dear mentally ill poor friend. If we could just vibe, and you would stop freaking out, we would get along because we have all the same goals. It's not to be fucked by billionaires, and for everyone just to vibe. You know, because they're like, I want to vibe. Stop telling me what to do. It's like, no one's telling you what to do. Tucker Carlson is telling you people are telling you what to do. You're being told this lie, you know.
I'd just like to say, by the way, sorry, I can see in chat, Uwu Park Uwu. Shut up, Simon.
Snitching.
Shut up, Simon.
A boy's out here snitching, dog.
Yeah, no. Right, Simon. Right, and I don't mind saying this on stream. He's a lovely lad. He's like a good friend to my nephews. Right, genuinely good lad. But my catchphrase to him is basically "Shut up, Simon." So
perfect.
Like,
it's perfect. Every young man needs to be told to shut up. That's coming from someone who's been one or is one.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I needed to be told to shut up way more than I was. But
yes.
Every now and again, a nephew of mine will send me a message. I go, oh yeah, that's brilliant. And just make sure you tell Simon to shut up.
We love Simon here, friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Good lad.
Yep.
I love you, but shut the fuck up.
We love a good Simon here. Yeah, our pop culture here is, it depends on where you go. Like rural Canada really reflects a lot of UK stuff because we're half UK, half America, right? So rural Canada.
Well, what are the French bits?
That's east. I'm Western
half UK,
Canada.
Half America, half French. You're like 150% of a country.
There's a quarter, maybe less than a. I don't want to.
Well done, Simon.
Simon, good man. No, then this is something weird, and I didn't realize this. So Canada obviously is English and French, right? Growing up,
I've got 2 very full open beers here. I'm so confused.
If we continue much more, I'm gonna need to go get some beers. But growing up, I'm dying. I didn't know, and I genuinely didn't know, and I was very good at geography. I've always been really good at kind of geopolitical things, oddly, you know, not heavily educated, but self-education kind of thing. I didn't know other countries didn't. I thought every country had 2 languages. Because we have 2 languages.
Mine does.
English and French.
No.
Wales. Sorry. Yeah. Right. And I
Yeah.
thought a ton of countries did. Have to. And my assumption, and this is I'm not.
I'm sorry. I love the idea that you thought that Wales was a 50-50 English and French speaking.
I was thinking England, not Wales. That's my bad.
Sorry, I interrupted.
But I was talking to Mo, co-host of the Friday Show podcast here on TPTV, and I'm embarrassed to say this was like when we first met, maybe a year or two ago. I thought the states had 2 official languages. Obviously,
English and Spanish.
Yes!
I'm guessing you were going to go.
Everyone speaks Spanish. Fucking everyone speaks Spanish. Like, you go to Western Canada, people don't speak French. You go to Western United States, tons of Spanish people, right? Like, more people speak Spanish in the States than people speak French in Canada. So my assumption was they're just vibing. They're like, of course, we got 2 languages. Obviously not. Canada, it's like my worldview was just shattered in that moment. And I was like, Ben, I need to, I need to really give myself a head shake sometimes and be like, not everyone's like this place.
Now, one of those, talk about weird ideas you have in your head that you think are true for years. Now, when I was a child, I'm talking 8, 9 years old, maybe younger. I'm walking home with my sister and my mother, and I'm looking up at the stars, right? And it was a nice clear night, and there was these 2 stars really fucking close together, right? Really close together. And I'm looking up like that, and they look like, where they flicker in, they look like they get a bit closer together. So I'm going to my mum, what happens when stars hit each other? All right, when they bump into each other, when they, go like that, right? And my mum, wanting to shut up her inquisitive little
Of course.
boy child.
Because you've been going all day, probably. She's exhausted. Everyone's thirsty.
Probably. it is, it's dark, so it is nighttime. She's had a fucking nap, right?
And you're still going, I get it.
Right? She's like, I just want to get fucking home, right? So she goes, dust falls down, right? When 2 stars hit each other, dust falls down. And for years, right? And take into account, right? I was a little nerdy kid. I was a little sci-fi geek. I knew how stars worked. I knew they were fucking miles away. But in my head, fucking dust will fall down. Mum said it. And it took me ages to sort of go, wait a minute. I think my mum was talking bullshit then.
Yeah. And adults, it's so interesting. And this is, I think, some of the like millennials and younger generations are so cognizant of is there's so many lies we were told that we were embarrassed in our either teens or adult lives because we're like, no, of course. Why would I second guess my parents? They told me this is real. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Just had one it just slipped my mind. I remember one very specific time, and this is just like verbiage misunderstanding, but you definitely reminded me of this moment where.
Now, which verbiage, French or English?
English, West Coast Canada. No, none of my family speaks French. I understand more French than everyone I know.
West on my screen, I think. West is this way on my screen.
Sure.
No, never eat shredded wheat.
Yeah.
That way is West.
So there I was. I think I was young too, right? Like I was quite young, probably 6, 7. I could have been 8 or 9. I don't know. But we had family over there. I remember this big dinner. It might have been Thanksgiving or Christmas or something. And my mom was giving my dad shit because, no one explained this to me for years. So I was confused by everyone laughing at me in this moment for years of my life. But have you ever heard the term like if someone's fucking with something, they're trying to fix something like tinkering with a car or they like put something together, like use a plastic thing to get this tube together, it's Mickey Moused? Like just kind of right? Like, oh, you Mickey Moused the furnace, so you put a plastic tube on this tube, you didn't quite fix it, but it's fixed, you Mickey Moused it. So that's
now wait, that has a different meaning here.
Oh, okay.
Slightly, but I'll get into that after you.
Sure. So I'm at the dinner table and my mom's giving my dad shit, in front of the family and stuff. So it's this big conversation. It's fun. It's jovial. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I told Pat no more Mickey Mousing stuff. No more. Like because my dad was always the fix-it guy. We were lower middle class, growing up. So
if I can fix it with duct tape, I
then
will.
fix it, especially because duct tape was cheaper. Now it's cheaper to just hire someone nowadays. It really is.
Or to buy a new pipe or
buy the whole new
tube or
thing.
wire or-
Fixing
yeah,
stuff's
yeah.
so expensive now. It's so expensive, and that's another thing to fuck the poor person. But
That's in next week's
that's
podcast.
next week. Yeah, and I remember because I'm a little guy. I'm the youngest, right? Like my cousins are there. I'm the youngest of the whole group, and I'm like, this is my moment to say, I'll get one or two sentences in a dinner, and I'm like, great. And I pipe up because I'm like, what? What do you mean he didn't Mickey Mouse anything? And I was so confused because the lampshade on my light was Mickey Mouse. So,
Yeah, well, lampshade's fucking brilliant.
dog, that's what I said. I was like, no. And I stopped everyone. I was like, hold on. No, he's still Mickey Mousing stuff because my lampshade's Mickey Mouse. And everyone lost their mind. They just, like Matilda
Can
laughing
you
at you.
Blame him.
And
Yeah, no.
No, and I can't blame him.
That would be the funniest fucking shit.
But here's the thing. No one explained it to me. I had 12 adults cackling in my face for 10 minutes, and then someone just said that's not what we meant, and they continued on instead of being like, hey, that's another term for this. And that was 30 years ago, and I remember it crisp as day. So now whenever I see like my nephew or something very confused, I'll go way out of my way and be like, no, this is what.
No. Yep.
Like I get you're embarrassed and everyone laughed and I laughed too. It was hilarious, but no one's going to explain this to you. We don't need you to figure this out 10, 12 years later.
I love explaining shit to people, especially if if I know anything about what I love doing that. So I get it. Like, like at some point in the night, I'll end up explaining fucking black holes or fucking, whatever.
Yep.
The Crimean War, even though I don't know anything about the Crimean War, but you know what I mean. I love that.
Well, and it's nice to like be able to show someone that no one else, and seeing a room of people that they're not taking the time to show someone this, and you can remember being in that moment, being so confused and like, what the fuck? Why won't? But you don't want to ask,
I love. For me at least, I just like introducing a new idea to a person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That maybe a fucking old idea to me and everyone else. It might be fucking common knowledge, but to this person is fucking new. I got two things going on in my head right now. So very briefly, Mickey Mouse in this country, if you describe someone as Mickey Mouse, is basically a joke, as in, if you took a Mickey Mouse course at university, it'd be like, oh yeah, I went to university and I studied boobs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or I studied SpongeBob SquarePants university.
Similar.
That's a Mickey Mouse course.
Yeah,
Right?
I would get that. Like if someone, if you were describing something like it's a Mickey Mouse course, I think I would figure that out.
We wouldn't describe a hodgepodge job where you just sort of, I've made it works now, even though it looks like a Dr. Zeus machine. Even though it is fucking ridiculous, it fucking works now. We wouldn't necessarily call that a Mickey Mouse or Mickey Mousing it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But here we go. I was telling my nephews the other week. I was talking to them, and they I don't know if they're still watching. I don't care. We were talking about. Do you know simulation theory?
Yeah, that we're in a simulation, and there's like math that actually kind of backs it up because we can't explain some stuff, and it would make more sense if we were in a simulation than actually the reality that we think we're in.
Essentially, yeah. But it's a case of the way it's been described to me is that, say you made a computer good enough to simulate a universe, and for all intents and purposes, it's a fucking universe. You simulated it. For the
Mhm.
people inside that universe, it would be indistinguishable from reality, right?
Mhm.
Now, you wouldn't run that simulation once. You do it millions of times. You do it loads and loads and loads of times in different fucking combinations. Oh, let's see what happens when like in The Sims,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know? Oh, let's see what happens if I live next to the Goth family, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Bella shouts out.
Hello, right? And so, what are the odds that you live in the one real universe or one of the millions and millions and millions of fake simulated universes, right?
Yeah.
And you know when like my nephews are going, "Oh, don't do this to me, bro. Oh no, like you're just destroying my reality, like, you know?"
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I love those moments. I really do.
Yes.
Where you're just like, you've never thought of it like this,
Mhm.
you know? And it might have just been something I learned 10 minutes ago in a fucking YouTube video.
Sure.
Y-
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, though. But I love introducing those ideas to people, you know?
Well, and it's fun because I find like if you're with the right people or people that are vibing with you in that moment, you can it just sparks a conversation, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all this kind of like outward, like I really like that kind of outward physics stuff where someone's not being a turd about it and they're like it's because it's a theory, it's so interesting, and then let's talk about things around the theory and kind of expand on it with your imagination a little bit, and there's just so much out there that we don't even I think as a like mass developed society, we don't tease ideas enough in our own brains and with our own conversations about these outward, very like hard to wrap our heads around ideas, and I think that the more we talk about that kind of large scale stuff, the easier it will be to get along with the smaller scales. You know what I mean? And be like,
Maybe,
hey man,
maybe.
this could just be a simulation. Maybe I won't nuke Japan
Rob
today.
your house and eat your children.
Exactly, like yeah, exactly. Rob someone just to get that chain or whatever. Tay, thank you for that lurk.
Hello, Tay. Lurk,
Tay.
Tay. What does lurking mean? I'm not a Twitch person. I mean, I'm assuming they're just in. Are they listening or they just fucking? I don't know.
Because every viewer is such a big deal, like every viewer you have. Lots of times people in the community, like I'm classic for this. I'm the biggest lurker of everyone I know. I jump into someone's stream, I drop my lurking emote, I keep it up so they get that view. And I might be having a conversation. I might
having a wank.
so
Right.
I'll lurk on people while I'm streaming, just to get that views up for them.
I'm going to assume all of our lurkers are masturbating.
Yeah, I think so.
Like Katie started lurking an hour ago, and she's still going.
And at work above it all, right? Like
hey, if you can get away with it.
And that's why, streaming at this time, all of our North American viewers, they either watch the VODs or, they'll get our 20-minute clips, which is why I think, like, if you tune in to any 20 minutes of this podcast, you're going to be entertained for fucking sure, regardless of where it is. There's no, mate, this is the 5th episode. There's no 20 minutes that you're not going to laugh at or not be entertained. There's no, find 20 minutes where it's not good. Even if we have 10 minutes starting, the first 10 minutes are always ridiculous or something happens or,
Now, I'll be honest with you, right? This is here you go. I'm gonna expose my vulnerability.
Sure.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm not a Twitch guy. I'm not a streamer. Until I did Ben Makes a Friend with You, I didn't expose my face on Twitter at all. Right? Yeah, no, I don't mind my anonymity. This is not a usual situation for me to be in.
Yeah.
And I've had people over the years going, "Oh, you should have a podcast," And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I couldn't keep it up long enough. And I gotta be honest with you, it has been a cause for mild anxiety for me, where
Yeah.
I'm like, am I just fucking being a dick on stream, like, and then
Mate, let me be
or
100%
not even,
candid.
not, not necessarily a dick, sorry, but just like wasting people's time,
Absolutely goddamn not. You have been not to get too sappy, on the cast, but you've been such a welcome addition to the TBTV family. I
I'm
think
just having fun.
well, and that's just
that's
it, man. You and
that's
I
the
can do
thing.
things that are like, I don't know. I think we kind of push some boundaries here or there, but all within the confines of like where we stand as people, like as individuals.
Within the confines of the Twitch terms of service.
Barely some days, dude. Barely. But and that's what it is, right? Like, no, it's I would say you've been more than a welcome addition here and absolutely crushing it
Again,
literally every single episode.
I'm just enjoying myself. I really am. I've been thorough. This is the most fun I get to have. I say it time and time again. This
Well,
is fun.
it's a
I don't
blast.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you, man.
I love you too.
I tell you, all right. One day, right, when we make a million billion Canadian fun bucks from this, right?
That doesn't get
fake
stolen
money.
from PayPal.
Just stolen from PayPal. Like, oh my god, how much did you lose? If you don't mind saying,
No, not that
if you
I
don't
won't say
wanna
the
say it
number,
on
but it was
stream,
for me. It was a lot. It's not a lot of money, but for me, it was one of those like 3 months of just or like essentially. Anyway, it was just like I'm not good at saving, and it was one of those like I was saving, and I'm not good at saving, and I was just like, fuck, man, it's easily replaceable. It's just money, but what?
Ben, I'm
What?
so sorry to interrupt. I've just had a breaking news announcement on my BBC News app.
What?
This is fucking heartbreaking. Andrew Tate and his brother to be released from custody into house arrest with immediate effect, Romanian judge rules. I was hoping he'd stay there forever.
God damn it. God,
I
he's
know,
going
right?
to, bro, the next 48 hours are going to be nuts.
Yes, yeah. Oh, mate, I was expecting that from the whole Trump thing anyway. Twitter's going to be amazing. It's going to be like a fucking...
Do you think, how much time do you have? Do you think Trump's getting arrested?
Well, he is. Or rather, he guaranteed, this is how the process will work. He will be processed. Right?
I don't think he will. I don't think
he did. Next Tuesday,
yeah,
he will be processed. He will have his fingerprints taken, blah 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 blah, and then because he's been charged with a crime.
I don't think it's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. It is going to happen. Now, they're not going to lead him in there in cuffs.
They're not going to perp walk him. No.
Yeah, they're not going to. He's not going to be wearing a black and white stripy suit or anything, Or,
yeah.
But he will be processed, as in they'll take his fucking, ask him the questions. All right. He might be wearing a lovely suit.
You think he's going to get a mugshot?
Yeah, that's part of the process.
I don't know if he's going to get a mugshot. I don't think he will.
That's what's going to happen. Now, it's in New York, right?
Yeah.
So it won't necessarily be released to the public. Right?
Oh,
the mugshot.
Oh, I thought New York was public with that.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's why it's in New York, because they're so liberal. So they're you're like classically.
I know, like Florida. The whole reason for Florida, man, is what they call the sunshine laws, which means all legal proceedings, anything legal, is public information, right? So the weirdest shit just becomes public knowledge, you know. Whereas in other states, it would just be right. That's why you got Florida, man. Right? No, one of the fun things about Florida, man, in the UK, right? You know our tabloid fucking rag journalism,
Sure. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We'll have a story that is completely made up. Like, I masturbated with what sits up my anus, and now my dick has turned orange,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have some photo of some guy going, oh, like that, right? And all it is, it like 99.99% of the time, it is some like pedophile from Florida,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Who isn't gonna fucking contest the fact that they've put his, oh yeah, I put fucking
Oh shit.
right. He isn't like, even if he knew about it,
Oh my
he isn't
God.
gonna draw attention to the fact that he's like a pedophile or whatever.
Sure. So who's gonna say this is wrong? I'm not this. I'm this.
Right.
Oh my
And
God.
that's a big thing over here. And it's all to do with Florida sunshine laws. Now, I don't know if New York has something similar.
I think
Um,
they do. I think it's gonna be because
but
everyone's so horny on Twitter about this.
if he's going to get processed, they're going to take his fingerprints, they're going to take his photographs,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll take his details so they can just record it, and then
I'm
you'll go into court.
man, if this happens, I will shit my pants. I don't know. I don't know like what because I
It's
just
gonna
don't
be
think
a
it's
circus.
I don't
It's
think it's
gonna be a circus.
yeah, I just can't see it happening because I think God hates us all and wants
It's
me to be
done.
miserable.
It's done. It's
No, yeah, I
done.
want to see the until it happens. I'm saying
They've made the decision. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't think it. I think something will happen. It's too good to be true. I don't know, man. I'm excited about it, but I've lived on this earth so like,
Don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. You can argue the merits of the actual case,
sure, and I don't
or lack
like
thereof.
the
I
merits are
don't
there.
really care. They are, but I don't really care. It's just a fun fucking story. It's about fucking time. It's like when they got Al Capone on taxes.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's like,
Yeah. And I like criminals. I don't like violent, psychopathic criminals. That's why I don't like billionaires, And so
yeah,
Al Capone, I'm cheering like, get fucked, asshole. The weed dealer, I'm like, no, stay free, my friend.
Yep.
The small time crime guy, even the shoplifter, don't fucking put him in jail. Let's get more of the Trumps. Let's get more of these turds in jail that are affecting more people with their thievery and with their con artistry.
Now, as a 400-year-old man,
Yeah.
as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a really, really old man.
Very old.
I think you might remember the ancient example of the 2008 financial crisis.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, in the UK, and in America, how many bankers went to prison?
I think there's like none. Like one,
Now, in the UK, it was definitely zero.
two. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a sacrificial lamb.
Madoff,
that
right?
they, like no, that was a different thing. That was
Oh,
a
okay.
Ponzi scheme, or a series of Ponzi schemes with
Mhm.
Bernie Madoff.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't to do with
But
the
didn't that
financial.
spark the financial crisis?
Well, Madoff, no.
Oh, okay.
Like the financial crisis was basically to do with it was certain types of mortgages. Banks were basically selling
Yes.
mortgages to people who definitely couldn't pay them, and then you could sell a debt to someone else, and they were hiding these toxic, fucking awful debts.
Yeah.
To oh God, I love my nephews. Change rollies a moment.
Yeah. You're good.
But they were selling these toxic debts to people without
Mm-hmm.
telling them, oh, yeah, no, they definitely can't pay it back. But they were selling it as, I think they were calling it subprime, but you could sell it like,
Because
80 cents on the dollar or 60 cents on the dollar.
yeah.
It was fucking 0 cents on the dollar.
Yeah. People were and people were betting on. Yeah, it was the same thing in the 20s, the 1929, the exact same thing they were doing, and then it happened again. Well, not exact, but very similar because they were borrowing to borrow, and borrowing to invest, which is borrowing to gamble essentially, which is what happened with the stock market in the 20s, but the housing market in 2008. Yeah. That Ryan Gosling movie taught me all about it.
Ooh, Park, ooh, I love you.
B, we should wrap it up. I think.
Do you reckon I can chat to you all night, pal?
If you want to take a 50-minute break, I can come back and chat for another 40. But I feel like you got stuff going on.
Fuck the shit that I got going on. That's not going on. Nothing I do matters. Only me and you. That's the only thing that matters.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, not at all.
You want to take a quick break and then come back and do another solid bit?
Yeah, why not? But I'll have a chat with you.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah. If we're gonna go on a BRB screen, guys, we're gonna be right back. Stick with us, friends. It's gonna go quiet for just a second, but we will be right back, and there will be some music on in the background in just a minute, guys. Stick with us. And we are on the BRB screen, but they can.
first is Tuve Lu, along with a few more artists with a...
Ooh. Oh, here we go, then. We're on a Be Right Back screen. Right. If anyone can hear me, say your name. I bet nobody does. That'd be mental. That'd be sad. I'm all alone. Ben has run away to find beer. So, I'm here drinking my beer. And my dog's looking at me as if I'm a weirdo because I'm just sat here talking to myself, which I literally am, but it's fun. Well, I hear sounds outside my house. I hope it's for me. It's not, it's never for me. Like, I know I'm a conventionally handsome kind of guy. Yeah, well, I see how all the women look at me. And, yeah, it's hard being beautiful. Very hard. As hard as I make your boyfriend's penis. Oh, I'm gonna sing a song for you now. It's a romantic song. It was written a long time ago by my people. And it goes like this. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional. It goes like this. Row, row, row your boat gently up my ass. Merrily, 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 isn't life a laugh? Oh man, so proud of my people. You know, it says he'll be right back. It says on the screen right now, I will be right back. And I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced Ben will be right back. I think he's gonna be ages and ages and ages. He's not. Oh my word. So apparently his local shop is about 7 minutes away. And he's gone to get beer. So, which I'm already drinking, but over where he is like afternoon time. It's actually evening time for me, so it's okay. But yeah, he won't be long. Unless he gets mugged, or killed, or kidnapped. Is it possible to kidnap a person in their 30s? I don't know. If anyone at home wants to tell me if you can kidnap a person in their 30s, please send me a message at bestbfacts on Twitter, where you can get all the best bee facts that are all facts about the best bees. Wow. Now my favorite bit about this waiting screen is that bed on the right. See that pillow with the weird ears? Like, Ben actually has that pillow. He calls it Vanessa and says it's his wife. yeah, that's what Ben's is, the weird bunny-eared pillow thing. See the hole in the middle of the pillow? Don't ask what that's for. Actually, let's explore this waiting screen a little bit more. Right, left or right? Let's see. So we've got the actual sun above the letter R. So this being Ben's bedroom, he's got the actual sun, just a tiny version of it, burning away on his desk. Right? He's got his little cactus next to it, which makes sense because cactuses do thrive in hot, dry conditions. That makes, at least to me, some sort of sense. What doesn't make any sense to me is that the room is clearly unlit, you know? I mean, yeah, you got the fairy lights flickering away there, but the room is clearly sort of, it's not a room you've got your light switch on, you know? It's not a lit room. Yeah, he's got the sun burning away above the letter R there. So I think that's inconsistent with the whole theme. Right, he's got his PC. Now, you can tell this is a fake image because it doesn't have images of Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson on his screen. So that's clearly fucking fake. I can see his lava lamp. Yeah, that's on point. Various plants. Now, based on my knowledge of Ben, all of his plants are dead except for the cactus, because that's right next to the sun. So that's not on point. Now, on the shelf on the left, you got a plant, and then right next to the plant on the right, in the next shelf, you got a little weird slug creature popping his head out. Now that's real. He has one of those. I've seen it. It's horrifying. His name is Schmozzle. It named itself, which is quite odd. Yeah, but he just sort of lurks on a shelf, pointing his head out now and again, making sure that Ben's, you know, all right. And then you got his, let's see. Now, if you notice, outside the window, you got various stars floating upwards. Right, little blinky, 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 blinkies going upwards like that. Now, the thing about Ben is he lives in Canada, and in Canada, stars do that. That's just how they do. So, again, that's on point. I think there are usually a lot more shooting stars, which, you know, are usually in Canada at least. They're the souls of the damned circling the globe. And there's a lot more of those than 2 or 3 that you see going by here. What time is it on that clock? I don't think that time's accurate. Clock next to his bed. I don't think it's ever that time where he lives, at least. Now that's weird. I just noticed that. Right, on the bed, on the right, above the rainbow. Do you see that? Do you see that? The picture's disappearing. Right, you got like a yellow and green, so like they look like Polaroids. Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, they getting blown up by the wind? Where's that wind coming from? Are they curling upwards? Is that what? See? What's going on there? That's clearly satanic. Well, just notice the cat on the windowsill there. Now, if you notice, that cat doesn't move at all, which is a sure indicator that the cat's dead. Which is sad, but, you know, fuck cats. Ooh, I like next to the cat on the shelf, you got a hand that's green in a pot. That's nice. What else we got in here? Oh, it's Ben back. Oh no. Oh, now he'll find out what I've been saying. I hope he doesn't. Ooh. I know, I can see you, buddy. I can see you. He's taking off his jacket. He's throwing it at the cat that's dead. He's pushing the cactus out of the way. What else is on his bed there on that picture? You got a buck, which is clearly a satanic buck. That's how he do. But he also has a little orange rectangle thing. I think that's probably also satanic. The only non-satanic thing in this entire image is the rainbow. Oh, I see a dog in. Oh, now you guys can't see my Discord, but actually the cat is alive. I'm in a Discord video chat. I can see the alive cat. So something's changed. Oh my god. Oh, Ben. Yeah. I'm guessing they can't hear you. Can they hear you? I can't now. Well, I've been discussing your Be Right Back screen for the last like 10 minutes. If you want, but
yeah,
I would appreciate if you listened to what I've been nonsensing about for the last 10 minutes.
I don't know how to replay what's just happened.
No. Later on.
Okay. We're gonna go. Are you gonna go back live?
Because I'm assuming, by the way, this Be Right Back screen.
Yeah.
That's your bedroom, as far as I'm concerned, mate. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah,
well, that's more.
You sleep in a single bed with the sun burning above the letter R.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and that's my dream room. You know, rockin' solo one one little cat.
You wish you. Yeah, no, that cat's dead.
Yeah. Well,
look at it. It doesn't move at all. It's clearly not breathing.
The stars are moving more than the cat.
The stars are moving more than the cat, and they're moving in the wrong direction. So I've just noticed. I think the cat is actually breathing. Oh,
son of a bitch! Is
the
it?
cat's alive.
The cat's
If you look
alive.
at the arse end of it, you can see his feet down. I assumed it was perfectly still, but apparently it is alive.
Well, and that's just the kind of work. That's the kind of work we put
alive,
in. Yeah.
The top end is completely dead.
Which is just representative of this channel. You know, a spicy ass, a dead head.
Yeah, that sounds like us.
Okay, let's. We're going. They're gonna see us. We're getting rid of this BRB screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, we're back.
I barely heard that. What the fuck was that weird robot noise? It was like robot polka.
It's we gotta get your internet fixed. It is.
My internet's fucking great. It's
your internet is shit because when I play my sounds for both Han and Mo, they can hear it. It's just it was an offensive Italian song that I play for Mo because she's Italian. The do 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 do.
Yeah. I've played Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I always forget because we rarely have, and we're gonna get more into this kind of stuff. We rarely have like kind of honest conversations, which I'm excited to kind of split the podcast. I think that's what we've talked about. Kind of half absolutely fucking ridiculous, tongue in cheek. Let's get viral from that kind of shit, and then a little more real talk. As I was walking to the store to pick up a delicious beverage that's going to help me with my cold, I was listening to music, and I was like, shit, we haven't even really talked. Like, I know you like, kind of early 2000s punk, same as me.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you listen to? Like on the average? I have no idea.
Now, I gotta be honest too. Right now, I used to be a musician. I used to be in bands. I used
Sure.
to be cool.
I would argue still are, but that's just me.
But I've kind of got out of habit of listening to music. Now, I like a bit of everything, and I know that's a cop out answer, but in my case, like there are very few bad styles. There are just bad songs,
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I do tend towards I like melodic music. I kind of like thoughtful music. I'm not a big fan necessarily of. Oh my god, there's so much shit music around, and I know I feel like an old man. I know I sound like an old man now. Oh, these kids stuff. I mean, I'll listen to fucking Korn. I'll listen to fucking the Zootons, to Aphex Twin.
Oh shit.
I'll listen to world music. Like there's generally a really good Russian band called Zemfira.
Okay.
I
was
like
getting into
my
some
old.
Sorry, I was getting into some Russian alternative actually just before they started the war. and then those people just kind of disappeared.
You were into Russian music before it was uncool.
No, I'm still into the band. I still like the band. They did I can't remember their name. It's on my liked playlist, but they did, I don't know if you know Oliver Tree.
I'm aware of them, and I probably heard their music, but I'm terrible for.
Yeah, I think you'd like him. He does more like, it's almost meme music, but his whole albums are amazing masterpieces, and every video, aside from one, but he even admits most of his videos are wildly artistic. Like I don't watch music videos. I don't listen to new music. Oliver Tree drops anything.
I like a good music video.
Man, Oliver Tree's stuff is so entertaining and very interesting, and it's all very like, he wants to be a director or whatever, But he did a collab with this Russian band, and I'm just trying to search them now or find them, and it was amazing. It was just very like.
Wait a minute, no, it's something else. Because there was the guy who did Hardcore Henry, the movie, and he got the movie Hardcore. Have you seen that movie at all?
I know what it's about. I saw the first couple minutes, and I didn't turn it off for any reason. I just didn't have time or something.
It's all right. It's a good movie. It's dumb. It's dumb fun, But he got that off the back of a music video. The director had done a music video called "I Am a Bad Motherfucker."
Oh, okay.
Right, and the music video was fucking brilliant, right? I showed it to somebody the other day, but I could only find a low-res version of it, right? Where it's called "Bad Motherfucker." It's "I am a bad motherfucker," but it's all first person. It's like a massive first-person action sequence.
Oh, cool!
Right, and like somebody saw that in Hollywood and goes, "I want a movie like that."
Yeah.
I want 90 minutes or 2 hours of that.
Biting Elbows is the band, I think.
Biting Elbows, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant music video, brilliant. And he got the movie. Hardcore Henry's all right. I enjoyed that movie. Sholto Copley, the actor, you probably know him as the guy from District 8.
9.
Or District 9.
Oh shoot, yeah, I would need to rewatch it. I've seen,
man. I'm not gonna shoot the prawns, man. It's that guy, right? He's a character actor. He's been in. I just saw him actually in series 2 of Russian Doll. Have you seen that?
I've seen the first season and I loved it. Natasha Lyonne, giant crush.
Yes.
There are few now that I'm in my late 30s and married, obviously. So there's few times that I see a new Hollywood actor.
I did it back in school when I was watching American Pie.
Wait, she was in American Pie?
She was in American Pie.
Stop. Cause mate, she's wildly attractive in my opinion.
No, I fucking yes, me and you same. I fucking love that.
It's too much. It's too much for me.
But I binged Russian Doll series 1 yesterday. But series 2 has got Sharlto Copley in it.
Okay.
And
what's his name? Sharlto Copley?
Yeah, he's a South African. He's from Johannesburg. I'm not going to shoot the prawns, man. You know, he's that guy.
Oh, all I was thinking of, because I know Di Antwoord's in that movie too. I was just thinking of the main guy from Di Antwoord. Pardon?
Which movie?
No, the band Di Antwoord. They're like,
right.
Because they're in it. The two, like, it's a dude and this lady that are the main people in the band, and they're South African, and they're in it, and there was a bunch of controversy.
They're in District 9.
Yes, they are as actors.
Right. That's what I was asking.
Sorry.
Which movie?
Yes. They are in District 9. So I was just thinking of his face, but now I have this guy, Sharlto. What a fucking horrendous first name.
Yeah.
It's like shark. It's like a Spanish shark. That's all I'm.
There was did you ever see it was like a sitcom, The Last Man on Earth?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I'm really sad it didn't get the next series. It got cancelled or whatever.
Oh.
But what's it? The blonde in that, her surname is Shart.
The lady from Mad Men.
Yes, and or now I never watched Mad Men, but I know she was in it. Or I know if as the Ice Woman from X-Men First Class.
She's made quite the career out of being like slightly unpleasant. Yes.
January Jones.
Yes. Wait.
What do you mean slightly unpleasant? I would give a decade of my life. Right?
Well, in Mad Men, her whole vibe is this slightly unpleasant, like, you know, even though the Mad Men is trying to show, it's trying to hold up a mirror to how bad things were, they still kind of glorify it in moments, and they make.
I gotta let my dog out.
Yeah, you're good. But they make the often, too often, I think, far too often during Mad Men do they really shit on women, and not in the, like, you know, mirror up to society way. They just kind of and January Jones's character is, they really drag her, and you're like, bro, you didn't need to make her this shitty. You did it because you wanted people to like Don Draper, the misogynist, right? So
yeah.
There's like, it's very similar to like Walter White's wife, you know.
She basically got bullied out of show business because
she did too good of a job.
Yeah, well, yeah, essentially.
That's what it is when you're an actor that, like, yeah.
The idea, it's always done my head in, right? The idea that people send an actor hate for performing a particular role or being, you know, and it's like, look, your job is to be an actor. One day you're going to turn up to work and they're going to go, you're a tree. Be the best fucking tree you can be, right? And you fucking throw your... If they turned up to me or to you and they started going, look, you got to be a fucking prick in this. You're like, and we'll give you a whole bunch of money to do it. All right, yeah, I'll be the biggest prick I can. Blah, 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 blah. What's my lines? Oh, I'm a prick. There we go. Yeah, like the idea of sending that person. Who was the kid who was Joffrey in Game
Oh
of
my
Thrones.
god, dude.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
he basically quit show business because people were treating him like a dick. And it's like, look, I turn up to work and they say, read these lines, and I do it as good as I can for
Mhm.
that character.
Mhm.
You know,
That's
that idea.
it's a conversation we have a lot in my house. Like Vanessa and I, aka Real Baby Yoda 420, we'll be watching a show and we'll both look at each other and be like, I hate this character. And the next comment from either of us is always, oh my god, they're such a good actor, because we need to remind ourselves, right? Like we get wrapped up in it, and then like, I hate this person.
Right.
Oh my god, what a good actor.
Now, yes, paper bag,
Yes.
spot on.
Yeah.
But as me and you, we've brought it up a couple of times, Star Trek fans,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm going to go to DS9,
Yep.
and I'm going to say two names to you.
Mm-hmm.
Gul Dukat, Kai Wynn.
Gul Dukat, yes. Kai Wynn.
Oh my, Space Karen.
Let me just Google it. Oh, the older lady.
Yeah, right. And she's such a fucking bitch.
Yes.
Right. And you're like, what a fucking good actress that she plays this role. Yeah. Gul Dukat, apparently Mark Alamo, who plays Gul Dukat, is a bit of a dick. I don't know, but like he'd make inappropriate comments, whatever. Yeah. So Mark Alamo was Gul Dukat, right? And he was playing opposite Kira. Major Kira, played by Nana Visitor.
Yes. Yeah. Kira was.
Yeah.
I thought was they did such weird things with her character, and she rocked it the whole time. Like they did real weird shit, and she rocked it.
She threw herself into that
Yes.
role.
Yeah.
Like,
It was amazing.
Props to it. But like, he'd go like, oh well, like Mark Alamo was like, oh yeah, well, they were supposed to be this weird chemistry, you know, the sexual tension between Gul Dukat and Kira, and it was really easy for me because she always gave me a boner, you know, that sort of thing.
What, the actor was saying this?
The actor, Mark
Jesus
Alamo. Oh yeah.
fuck. Oh my god. That's so wild. That's
again, but like, and not to diminish from his role, because he's one of the greatest villains in sort of TV history, in my mind.
Sure. I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently the guy's a bit of a dick. I don't know.
And that kind of pisses me off. Death the Reaper Cat, mate, thank you so much for that lurk. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the support.
Look in my bum.
Let's go. How do you feel about this? Is something that's really bothered me, because I took acting classes, you know, in high school. I really wanted until I realized I had a aggressive anxiety disorder. I wanted to be in acting, and I wanted to be, you know, doing that kind of stuff. So I was trying to go down that path. Although my friends and family all wanted me to go math and science, and encouraged me to aggressively encourage me and discourage me in any other field. But even when I was trying to get into acting, and I saw all these really, the town I live in is full of really talented artists. It's because it's white privilege shit, right? So
it's fucking Vancouver, in it. Oh no! Is this when you were back in?
It's where I'm at right now, the Okanagan. So it's 4-hour drive from Vancouver.
The what?
It's an indigenous name, the Okanagan Valley. It spans from Vernon.
My Canadian geography is non-existent.
No, and this is
what was it? Banff. Banff is a place I know in.
That's
Canada.
Alberta. Yeah, and that's 8 hour drive for me. Like that's within. I've been to Banff tons.
I know Banff exists because of the South Park game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh, fuck all about Canada.
So I'm right by the border. I'm right by Washington. And But so there's a, I don't know, a big kind of, or was when I was growing up, a big acting culture, a big artist culture, right? Like huge artist culture here. And even then, even when I was like an idiot wrapped up in this whole culture, I would look at people doing what's it called when you are the character? You get weirdly into it. Method.
Method acting.
The method acting. I still hate it. I think it's insane, and I think people that are bad at their jobs do it, in my opinion.
No. People only do method acting really when they're playing dickheads.
Yeah, and that's what I like. Why the fuck do you need to be a dick? No one's a nice guy method actor. You're right.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Why can't they just not be dickheads to their coworkers?
Now, weirdly, going back to Star Trek, Leonard Nimoy, Spock, he was a method actor. So sometimes, like when he was on set, he would basically go, I'm going to show no emotion to my cast or crew or whatever. Really nice guy, everybody loved him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's because I think a guy like, and I have no idea, I'm speculating, right? But
Jared fucking Leto. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, and right before that, I was gonna say Leonard Nimoy is the kind of guy that if you're like, hey, this is really affecting me negatively, I think he would turn to you and go Leonard Nimoy, right? He's gonna drop it. He's gonna drop it and be like, hey, I'm so sorry.
No. Yes.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it profesh. Let's blah blah. So like that kind of method actor that can pull out of it, I respect. I'm good with that. You want to stay in character throughout between scenes? Yeah, of course. I get that. But when you're when you're Jared fucking Leto, and
you're sending people condoms full of fucking cum and dead frogs.
Well,
or
and the
whatever,
thing he's just a manipulator psychopath because there's another method actor that does crazy stuff, and that's the guy that no one knows what his face looks like because he's so good, Daniel Day-Lewis.
That was the one I was thinking of, Daniel Day-Lewis.
He is so fucking good at his job. No one knows what he looks like. He can just walk around. He can just walk around wherever he lives right now.
He retired, didn't he?
He did, and no one knows what he does or what he looks like or where he lives because he's so fucking good because he's an actor. You know, whereas Jared Leto wants to be different versions of Jared Leto.
But like Gangs of New York, apparently he was doing method, so he just fly off the handle with people and threaten them with knives. Now, can you imagine that being, the fucking a gaffer or your lighting director or whatever, and you're just there to fucking light this scene as nicely as you can. Right, and then the fucking talent comes up to you with a fucking knife or whatever, or sends you a fucking dead owl, or kills your nan, or whatever it is, because he's doing method fucking acting, and you're like, no, fuck you, pal. I don't care how good a fucking actor you are. I'm here to fucking do my job. You can get fucked.
That's why we're not allowed on movie sets.
That's why well, no. There was the whole court case, but
I'm with you on that because I get. Here's the other thing: if you want a method, I don't agree with it because you're an idiot and you're not Daniel Day-Lewis. If you're gonna Daniel Day-Lewis it, the guy genuinely with There Will Be Blood, I think it's called.
Yes,
he didn't because the character didn't shower. He didn't shower for months. Like, he was disgusting. He got really sick from it. He was emaciated at one point. Like, he put his body, and then he put everyone else around in an awkward position. But the guy, he went over the top. Whereas for me, Jared Leto is going back to his sex cult, fucking underage people, and then coming back to set being rude to actors.
Jared Leto just seems like a weird, creepy fucking... like narcissistic psychopath.
He is a narcissistic psychopath, in my opinion. I don't have any proof of that.
Asterisk, allegedly, whatever.
Sure, yes. If Jared Leto sues us, we're gonna be just fine.
Oh yeah, no, we can afford
you know what I mean? It'll be more a benefit than a hindrance. But yeah, method actors are fucking weird, man. Like, actors are weird to begin with because they're fucking nerds. You know, and I'm a nerd. I got nerd stuff that I get into, but actors are nerds in this like weird. I don't know if you've been a part of like an acting circle, but they're all weird and lovey, and it's way too much, and I've never liked it.
I used to be big in the local sort of dramatic scene. I did all the school plays.
Hell yeah.
I had main parts and everything and singing and all that.
What?
I used to be able to sing, man. I did pantomimes and plays in the local theatre, and
Shit,
the
dog.
reason I got out of it because and this is just taking into account this is fucking nobody level sort of local amateur dramatic society stuff. I couldn't put up with fucking egos. Now you imagine you get that level.
The egos, dude.
Oh, I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't, and that's why I focused on the music for a while. Is because people are just happy to be making shit in them.
Yeah, and that's the egos on people when they're being creatives. It's so fucking much. You know, if people could just chill the fuck out a little bit, as far as ego goes, you know.
Do you have any one moment?
Yeah, no, take your time. Take your time. You're good. You're good.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'm performing a transaction.
Do you want to BRB for 2 minutes?
No.
Because we got time. We got time.
no, we got. So have you got any weird claims to fame? Have you got any friends who are famous or anything like that?
I've worked on a movie. I've been the head electrician for a horror movie.
Now you said, which horror movie was it? Would I know it?
No, because I still haven't seen it. They were supposed to send me a copy. It was called Suspension.
I've never seen that.
I know you have. I don't even know if it actually got released because. So this is how the whole thing happened, and I've said this story kind of like briefly before on stream, but this is how the whole thing happened. There I was, the second time trying to leave my trade as an electrician, and I had gone on this road trip throughout the States. I had quit my job in Vancouver, so I left this really amazing job in Calgary, went to Vancouver, found a new job. You know, just randomly got hired on as a brand new journeyman electrician, which doesn't happen. Not to toot my own horn, but toot. I bugged a guy every day for 2 weeks till he hired me. To be honest, I called him every fucking day for 2 weeks.
It works.
I found him. I'm walking around my neighborhood, high as a kite, marijuana.
And you just, yo, give me a job. Give me a job.
I see this motherfucker. He's unloading a van, an electrical van, and I walk up to him. I was like, "Hey, just randomly, are you guys hiring?" It was the owner of the company. So I asked the owner of the company if they're randomly hiring, just because I saw him on the street unloading his van. And he said, "Yeah, we're looking to expand. We only have 2 employees. We're brand new. Let me call you soon." And I was like, "Mate, I live down the street. I'm ready to work whenever. Let's go." And he said, "Yeah, I'll call you in about a week." I waited 3 days and I started calling him every single day till he hired me. So that worked out. I wanted to leave the trade. So I did that for a little bit. I wanted to leave the trade. I went on a trip through the States. I came back and I desperately needed a job. And I wanted to get into film. They call Vancouver Hollywood North because it's cheap. It's classically been
very cheap filming,
cheaper.
And often they offer like tax breaks or
huge
whatever.
Tax breaks, massive tax breaks.
That's how things like Scott Pilgrim got filmed in Vancouver.
Everything so much is filmed in Vancouver, especially comedy stuff because Seth Rogen, he was raised there, whatever. But he knows the tax breaks. That's the thing. It's not he's a loyal Canadian. He knows how to make money.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there I was scrolling through, I think Craigslist at the time or something, and I saw this thing. They're looking for just helpers, and I was like, I don't want to be an electrician. I want to get into film, in one way or another, but not being an electrician because I know Jenny Ops. I get it. They make tons of money, but there's all this weird. You get screamed at every day, and I didn't want to do that.
Let me guess. You ended up being a fluffer.
I ended up being the electrician.
Oh.
So yeah. I just jerked people. It was horrible. So I applied for this job and I sent in this like little movie I made just because I have no experience in the industry. I'm not a union guy. Just please hire me. They called me right away. They were kind of dicks on the phone. They're like, we need you as an electrician. And I was like, fucking fine.
Give me the money. I just foot in the door.
And so I worked for $100 a day, which is when you're working 16-hour days. You can do the math real fucking quick. And this is 7 days a week, 16-hour days. I would
actually 100 divided by 16 doesn't actually give me a round number, but it's not a good one.
It's not good. So I had to drive about an hour and a half out of town because just outside of Vancouver, Langley gives even bigger tax breaks. And because this was an independent film, they went out of town. So I was driving. I would get home because it's a horror film too. So we filmed at night. I would get home about 8:30 or 9 in the morning. I'd put food in the oven, like breakfast in a few hours. I'd straight up go to sleep with my food cooking, just have enough time to wake up, eat some food, and drive back to set. And so I got effed in the face unconsensually, just to get my foot in the door for about a month.
This is the thing. That level of exploitation never stops.
No,
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what level you are. The only people who are not getting exploited in that system are the guys who are the sort of the producers and the money.
So this is when I learned, and this is why I understood I probably can't work in film. First of all, the director people revere as a god. He was a fucking creep. Sorry for dropping the F-bomb so hard, but he was a dirty creep. It's a horror film with teenagers, and without saying what I'm gonna say, you can fill in those blanks. And the main starlet who was underage, there was some.
What kind of budget are we looking at on this?
Probably $500,000.
Oh, right. So not like a low budget movie, but a serious budget movie. But not, it's not done on pennies. It's not like a college.
No. We had Jenny's mate. I was like, and I'm learning on the fly. So I'm with this gaffer, this like 60-year-old guy who we'd scream at each other every day. And I was like, I know what I'm doing, idiot. You don't know, and he'd be like, you don't know what you're doing. And I was like, we were both right. I look back, I'm like, fuck, we should have both just shut the fuck up and helped each other. But we fought for a month straight. It was horrendous, and paper just did the math. It's about $6.25 an hour when our minimum wage was over double that.
Wow.
So
that's Canadian fun bucks though. So that's like fake.
And our groceries are really expensive, and like just for the American folks, like our cost of living is really pricey compared to what we make. So there I was. I did the thing. But the thing I really learned about movies and film in general, and knowing, because I was the only person on set to stand up to the director to the point where he wouldn't talk to me. They had to send the producer to talk to me. Oh yeah, he wouldn't talk to me. I pointed out he was a creep. I pointed out that, and I'm not gonna bow down to him. I literally said in front of everyone, I'm not gonna kiss his fucking feet. He's done nothing for me. So the producer was the one who would talk to me, and the only way they would have power was if I was there. I called in sick one day and the whole production shut down. They brought in another electrician. He couldn't get power up because I was doing some like shady shit, but I'm good at what I do or what I did.
Again, it works. It might be Mickey Mouse.
It might be Mickey Mouse, but we're going to get the scene, dog. We're going to get the scene, It
might look like a Dr. Seuss machine.
It
might look like a bicycle from a Dr. Seuss nightmare,
but we'll get it. We'll get it. There's one, and then I'll wrap up this whole story because I'm going on a tangent. There's one night right before I quit for a day or two. And when I got back, everyone clapped. The whole fucking cast and crew were like, thank God. And it was too much for me. But
that's a good feeling.
I bring it
That's
up
a good
10 years later. It felt good. So it was literally a dark and stormy night. This is just before I quit for a couple days. It was a dark and stormy night. Not joking. We're filming a horror movie. We're on this people's farm. They don't like us
So
there.
it's literally dark and stormy.
Literally, and I'm in mud and muck, and we're like, their house is getting fucked up. There's wires everywhere. There's a reason you don't see people's feet in talking scenes is because the whole wires everywhere,
cables,
lights and wires.
Sounding, lighting,
And think of a house. You're dragging those black cables through a house. You're marking up the walls. Yeah, right. So you're marking up the walls. You're messing everything up. So we're trying to get things done quickly and efficiently. The rain is starting to calm down. We're shooting in the house. The owners are a little annoyed because they're like, this has gone on about a week longer than it should have already. Like, what the fuck? So there's all this pressure to get things done. And I'm yelling at everyone, running around saying, it's a house. And we have all these things plugged into the house panel because I'm a magician. And I did things... And I saved some money, right? There's no Jennies. I'm a goddamn magician. Everything's plugged into the house panel. And I said to the whole crew, do not plug anything in without me knowing. Because if you know how a house panel works, in North America, there's two lines coming in. There's line A and line B.
You can manage the energy.
And I could, and I just at 100 amps, but you have to balance it. So we have line A, line B. I have to balance 50 amps per, and we were at 100. Like it should have burned down the fucking house, but I balanced everything, and I said, "Don't, you guys, we can't for all night. We cannot plug. You need to tell me if you unplug one light and plug it in anywhere else." Fast forward 15 minutes. The main line explodes. It's still pouring rain. It's a sheet of water, and the main power line to the house blows up and lands in a puddle. Yeah, because some asshole unplugged one light and plugged it in right next to because I have my power bars. I had everything set out, line A, line B. He plugged it from A to B, blew up the power line. I had to call the city. The whole production shut down for 2 days because one guy, and I'm running out there screaming because it's pouring rain. There's a live electrical wire in the puddle. Everyone out. And the director's trying to yell at me like, no, we can't. Like, you're going to die and I'm going to walk. Everyone out now. He kept arguing with me and I walked. And so 2 days later I came back. Fast forward because we made sure we called BC Hydro, the big power guys. They're on their way. Everyone's yelling at me to, no, we need to keep getting this shot. We have flashlights. I'm like, you're going to die. I'm not going to be a part of this. Goodbye. So,
I mean, look, you guys can choose to die, but I'm over there.
What was I to do?
Wear rubber boots.
Well, and that's just it. The whole thing about it, and the whole reason for me going on this whole tangent was the financing behind this movie was all money laundering. Every time we had a quote unquote producer, because think of this. So we'd have producers come to set because it's this horror movie with all these young girls. They'd get there and be like, these are all underage girls. Like for the party scene, they invited the main producers, which showed up in their jacked up trucks. They were 28-year-old guys with they were drug dealers, man. They were Vancouver drug dealers. You can smell them from a mile away. And big time, HA kind of money. They're laundering their money. And it was so obvious.
HA money? Well, what does HA mean?
Hell's Angels. Like the biker gang. They're pretty big here. But
really?
Yeah, massive in Canada, massive to the point where I'm not going to keep talking about it. It's super, but they do what they need to do, and I'm not going to say anything else from that. But it ended up me seeing this whole industry of all these people sucking the D's of these Harvey Weinstein characters. It's still fucking happening, regardless of Harvey being in jail or not. It's still happening because the culture is there. And everyone was shocked the whole time, every day. They're like, "Oh, you didn't let them walk all over you?" You know? And I was like, "No, of course not. What are we doing here?"
That was the shock. Oh shit.
Yeah, everyone was always like, they're like, "You're not going to make it in this industry," to me, you know. And the whole point of me doing it for the month was to get in the industry. And at the end, I got calls to do commercials and stuff, but I burnt myself out so much. And seeing that it was all money laundering, and you're not going to invest in something that is so insecure unless you're trying to clean money. No one invests in movies. No one, unless you're trying to clean money. It doesn't make sense. It's the worst investment. What bank is going to say, "Of course, take this loan out to invest in a film"? You know, that there's no guarantee on return.
If you can sell it for $1 more to Netflix, and you can mark it as a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm. And it's all weird and all. It was strange, man. It was strange to see people like, I don't know.
Oh, my claims to fame are far more tenuous.
Yeah, let me know.
All right. So here we go, Ed. I was an old drinking buddy with one of the actors of a famous Welsh film. It's a really good film as well, right? Called Twin Towns.
Twin Towns. 1990.
Right, and that sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah. And
a TV show or movie?
Movie. And the only person who actually made it big from that was Rhys Ifans, who you might remember
Superhands?
as what?
Is he
Superhands?
Is he Superhands?
Are you talking about Peep Show?
Yeah.
No, it's not him.
Okay, I'm seeing a small picture. Sorry to derail.
Right, Rhys Ifans was, let's see, you remember the Amazing Superman with Doodah Garfield? Do you remember the guy who was the Lizard Man?
Wait, Spider-Man.
In the Amazing Spider-Man.
There we go. Yeah, I was like, Superman. Yeah. The
Amazing Spider-Man. Do you remember the Lizard guy with Andrew Garfield?
Yes.
Yeah, Rhys Ifans.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in loads of stuff. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I got him up. He's in he's not in he's in some drug movie. He's in a bunch of drug movies. Oh my gosh.
Are you thinking of Trainspotting?
Is he in Trainspotting?
I don't think he's in there.
Oh my! What the fuck is wrong with me? I need to pull up his IMDb because I know his face.
My drinking buddy was a guy called Dorian Thomas.
Okay.
He's now dead. I went to his funeral, but he was in Twin Towns, right? Mad bastard.
Oh, shit.
Genuinely, right? No. I loved him. I loved him to bits. Like I said, old drinking buddy of mine. This is a man who learned how to speak Klingon while on set in a Shakespeare play. This is a man who researched old pirate stories and researched the antecedent game to chess called Fitchel. Right? This is a guy, the first time I met Dorian Thomas, he claimed he had vampiric technique and could draw the energy, the life energy from people in the room.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah.
This guy, mad. I loved him. I loved him to bits. I miss him so much. He's generally mad bastard. What else? I was in the I was about 2 years below the now disgraced Ian Watkins, paedophile of the band The Lost Prophets.
Oh shit! Oh, first thing is a mugshot.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
He's from my hometown. He was about 2 or 3 years above me in school.
Oh my God.
Right?
Did he do punk pop?
It was more emo. It was that era of emo, like do you remember Funeral for a Friend?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Funeral for a Friend, one of my, I said I did pantomimes and stuff. One of the guys I used to do pantomimes with, Gareth Davis, was a really cool guy, in all fairness. Good, funny, cool guy. He was the bassist in Funeral for a Friend for a while.
Oh, okay.
I know they've had multiple members. It's not really my style of music. But who else? There's a famous Welsh comedian called Owen Money, and I was in at the ripe age of like 18. I was in a TV show, a one-off TV show on BBC Two Wales called Class of '59, which was a night out in 1959. I think my mother's got a VHS of it.
Wait.
Right? I don't think it's anyway. It's on like IMDb, but like I was one of the extras. They featured me. I had quite long hair at the time, right?
Sure.
I had the longest hair of all the boys, right? So I'd done it all up like a fucking teddy boy. Think Grease Lightning, you know.
Yep.
And all of the fucking hair and makeup women loved me because I had long hair for a boy.
And you're a young lad. Yeah.
Right? And so they featured me loads in this one-off fucking thing with Owen Money, who's a bit of a dick, in all fairness, right? But it was called Class of '59. It was shown once on TV. I don't think it's anywhere online.
I'm searching hard right now. I'm searching the hardest I've ever searched before.
Every now and again, a couple of the people I was every now and again, a couple of people I was in it with will post a video of something or another. If I can find one,
please,
I'll send it to you because there's a couple of them, and I look amazing.
Of course.
And like in between shots, right? I just be walking around. They gave us, right? We're like 17, 18 years old, and it's set in the 50s, right? So they've given us, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, woodbine filterless, cork-tipped cigarette, right?
I can only assume. Yeah.
They were supposed to be period cigarettes. They had boxes and boxes and boxes of these fags, right? And they go into these teenagers, like, who here smokes? Right? We'll give you boxes of fags, right? Because that's what it was like in the fucking 50s. Everyone was fucking smoking, right?
Oh my
Indoors,
God.
like, right? It's just before the smoking ban in the UK as well. But so they're just giving us boxes of fags. I know a guy who started smoking on the set of this fucking thing, right? And they're cork tipped, right? So you think of a cigarette, right? And you know you got that like orange bit on the end with the filter.
Sure, the filter, yeah.
Right? The orange bit is cork. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to look like cork.
Okay.
Right. On these cigarettes, it would be an outer layer of cork, right? Because they're proper 50 cigarettes, but there's no fucking filter. It's just tobacco in there.
No.
Right?
Oh my God.
They're just giving these cigarettes. I took like 200 cigarettes.
Yeah,
easy.
no shit.
Right? Over a week of filming, I took about 200 cigarettes off them. And then at the end of the shoot, they're like, well, we got boxes and boxes and boxes left over. And you're like, well, I'll have 5, please.
And they just gave you ciggies?
Yeah, fucking right. The smoking age in the UK at the time was 16.
It's a fucking assholes, man. That's some psychopath shit to be like just even. I just even mean the age of smoking being 16. That is some psychopath shit.
Like they're just going, oh, I've been given something. One moment.
Cone life, baby. Oh my God. Do you have a preference? Sativa, indica, does it matter? Are you just THC
Right.
content guy?
Right now, you're from Canada, where it is legal. Right?
Yeah.
So you can go up to a shelf.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you what's in it. Right?
You still yeah, you got to call buddy.
I'm from a country where you just call some guy and he goes, "Oh, what is right? I got some banging blue cheese and yeah, it's fucking proper stuff."
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what he's fucking got.
They don't know fucking shit.
Right? He doesn't know what he's got. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what the fucking the strains are allowed to tell, and I don't have a sense of smell, right? So I can't even go.
Oh no.
Oh, that's good.
You have to visually look at it.
But no. I ask someone I trust.
Yeah.
Have a smell of that.
Yeah.
My ex didn't smoke weed, but I did.
That can get tricky.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was fine for years. We had a wonderful relationship, and I miss it greatly. I'll be honest with you, but
Sure.
it is what it is. It ended at the right time, I think. But I would ask her to smell it, and she didn't even smoke it. But she's like, "Oh, that's fucking strong." I'd be like, "Hey, let's go."
Yeah, nice. It's so weird because I've traveled to Europe a couple times, and we don't smoke weed when we're there. But one of the first times we did go to Europe, we were with friends of ours, and it was a drinking night out. We're in Portugal, which decriminalized. And
I got a Portugal story for you.
You know your boy, like my wife is Portuguese. They have a house out there, but this was the time we were on mainland.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Azorian. She's from the Azores, not the mainland. It's an island in the middle. So let me tell you this. I didn't know this shit.
Tell me.
Portugal, they have like a Hawaii. It's in the middle of the fucking ocean.
No way.
It's almost closer to North America than it is Europe, and that's where my wife's family's from.
The Portuguese conquered loads of places.
They literally
South America is a result of the Portuguese. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Going with the theme of today's podcast we just did, inventions. The Portuguese literally invented the slave trade. They were the first ones to trade slaves. Not great. Not fucking great. They conquered the world and they invented the slave trade. Real bad folk. And where are they now?
I would hold that against your wife.
I do. No, I can't because where the fuck is Portugal now? How big? Y'all invented the slave trade and you couldn't do shit with it.
What do you get?
Nothing.
Right, now let that be a learning experience to you.
So there we were. We were in Portugal. It's a night out, and the people we're with, they don't smoke weed or anything. Vanessa's slightly new to smoking weed. I've been, since I was 18, enjoying my marijuana here and there. I got more into it later on, and you can just see we're in this touristy place, and you spot the guys, the guys selling hash and shit. And so we're walking by, and this guy's just kind of mumbling because he sees some. Did we look like a?
Is solid.
And here's the it was, and we look like Americans, so people speak English to us. Sometimes I would just say some French shit to them to fuck them up, and then be like, Canada, English, like fuck you, But so this guy comes up, he's a little greasy, he's a young kid, and he's like, hash, and I was like, yeah, what you got?
That sounds familiar.
I didn't miss a beat. All I said, we're getting up from our an outside patio dinner. We paid our bill. We're going to walk to the train to get back to our Airbnb. Hash. Yeah, what you got? And I just pull my wallet. Immediately, all three people I'm with lose their fucking minds. My wife, the couple I'm with, they're just like, what the fuck are you just immediately lose their minds on me. And
fuck off. I'm doing business with my pal here.
Mate, that's drunken Ben. Instead of looking at the
new best friend.
dog, instead of looking at the situation like a regular fucking human, thinking these people I'm traveling with are nervous because I'm about to purchase illegal drugs in a country they're not familiar with, and instead of telling them, hey guys, I'll be right back, I just started doing it. And so they all got, the tension went right up, and everyone was like, no, we're good. And so I flipped, right? Like I was like, okay, never mind, buddy.
No, you friends were wrong then.
I agree. I agree.
friends
And
were
Vanessa and I,
wrong.
we've had a chat about it, and it was, I could have done better. She could have done better. They definitely, the couple we were with, definitely could have done better. Like, there were so many things wrong here, but you know what?
Look, you don't have to make a thing out of it. I'm doing business with my pal. Yeah. All
That's
right.
what
Bye.
Mate, that's what I tried. I tried to do that so quick and so slick, and everyone was like, no. And then they literally started pulling me. And so I'm like, done then. I'm not, sorry, buddy. And I just said, sorry, dog. And he pulled his hash out from, you know, there's this whole street that's all outdoor dining and all these chairs stacked up. They had the hash hidden under one of the chairs that were already stacked up. And he had pulled out his hash to sell it. And so for me to get out of there, I know, like, I've been around enough.
It's a pain in the ass for that guy.
It's a pain in the ass for him, but I know it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I know I have to get out, right? Like, I'm already in trouble with these people. I don't want to be shit on for the rest of the trip. You know, I'm already shit on tonight. Let's get out of here. So I tell him, I was like, well, let me smell it. And they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But my whole plan was I smell it, I say, no good, sorry, buddy, I move on, right? Like, that's for, in Canada, quick, easy, don't make a deal. In Europe, in Portugal, he lost his fucking mind. He had the sale.
He did.
He's
like, no. I know that shit's good, but don't you fucking
No, let me tell you this though. It wasn't good. It was cinnamon and a bit of hash. It smelled so strongly of cinnamon. And so for me as well, I'm like, I'm already in trouble, you know, with these people. I would have just slipped into the 20 or whatever, but and I lost my mind because I'm already being yelled at over here, and I went to smell it with the intention of being it's not good, but it was straight up cinnamon. And I was like, dog, that's cinnamon. I'm going to cough it. They said, no. And he gets really aggressive about his quality because now I'm beaking him in front of the other tourists. My party's walking away. He's yelling at me. I'm standing in the middle, looking left and right. I say enough, and I walk away. He followed us for a good 4 or 5 minutes till I turned around. And we all started yelling at him. It was...
Yeah. No. The last thing they want is attention.
And that's because he was trying to pressure me. He thought I was American, right? I'm like, homie, I'm Canadian. I'm poor as shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm half European. I understand you. Get out of town, you know. And they really thought we were American and would be shamed into it. Like, no, I'll shame you, friend. It blew up into a whole thing.
My Portugal story is a little more shady, I guess. Sorry. So I'd taken some time off from work, and I'd Googled the words cheapest flights anyway. Right? I wanted a weekend away or whatever. And it turned out I could get a Faro in Portugal, right? There and back for 50 quid.
Fuck off.
Right?
Yeah.
And I I could get a fucking 2-bedroom, not 2-bedroom, like 2-bed fucking hostel room. It's basically a room with 2 beds in it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you had access to a toilet and a kitchen.
Yeah, shared toilet, shared kitchen kind of thing or whatever.
Right? And that was like sort of 60 quid for the weekend. Right? And I said to my mate, do you want to come to Portugal for a weekend? I'll pay for you. Right? 2 of us, 100 quid. Right? I wasn't taking my missus. Right? She was, she knew she was doing work and whatever.
Yeah.
So me and my mate, right? And he doesn't drink. He doesn't swear. He's a weird guy. He's
religious.
One of my no.
Just a sweetie pie.
He's one of my oldest friends. One of my oldest best friends. I couldn't even describe him. He's brilliant.
Sounds like a
Anyway,
sweetie pie. Sounds like a sweetie pie
he's
off the bat.
genuinely one of the nicest
Yeah.
person you could ever meet.
Yeah. For me, someone that doesn't drink or swear and isn't religious, sweetie pie. Sweetie
Right.
pie.
But take into account, right? So I took him to Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
and like there was a floating cocktail bar on like the pier, right? So we went in there, and I said, right, you and me now. He doesn't drink, but he's like, I'm gonna do it anyway, right? Right.
Oh.
We decided to drink one of everything on the fucking menu.
Yeah.
And it was the Negronis that done us in the end. But you know when you get a fucking, oh no, they ruined us. And he couldn't drink it. And then so he gave it to me. So I got two of them to drink, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was ruined. But we, you know when you get a cocktail and there's a fucking bit of like orange peel or
They
lemon
zhuzh
zest.
it up. They zhuzh it. Yeah.
And they were really good cocktails, in all fairness. They were
Yes.
really good cocktails. But he's eating everything that's on there, all the dried lemon and whatever, right? He's eating it. He's like, I paid for it. I'm eating it. Right? This is the kind of guy he is. Right?
That's my guy. I like it. I like it.
Oh, he's brilliant. I
This
love
poor
him.
person shit, and I'm all about it.
Right? But you know when we got to this one drink, and I can't remember what it was. It might have been like a porn star martini or
Sure.
whatever it fucking was. Right? But all it had on top of it was this huge coil of orange peel. And I'm like, fucking eat that, pal. And I'm drawing attention to the bar guys, like, because
Mm-hmm.
we built a bit of a rapport by this point, because we basically ordered everything.
Yeah, and when you've been there so long, the bartender's gonna kind of vibe with you either way, right?
Yeah, oh no. So I go to there, we were drinking the Bloody Mary, and right, this is after the Negronis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Robert, who doesn't drink, he's like, I'm done. I'm not drinking more. And I'm like, fair enough, I understand, right? But then I goes to the guy, how goes your Bloody Mary? And he's like, oh, Bloody Mary's pretty good. And I'm like, no. You shut up. The words I want to hear is, we make the best Bloody Mary in Portugal.
Sure, yeah.
And he goes, we make the best Bloody Mary in Portugal. So I'm like, I'll have one of them, please, right? Because I quite like a Bloody Mary in all fairness.
Sure.
Right? And he brings it to me, and it is a good Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
In all fairness, it is a good Bloody Mary. And I'm like, oh, Rob, mate, you got to taste that. That is the best Bloody Mary in Portugal. And he's like, I'm not drinking it. I'm not drinking it. I'm not. You gotta drink it. You gotta have a taste of it. And I was a bit forceful. He had a taste. He enjoyed it, but I was so hungover the next day. But sorry, it was the drug story. So I'm walking around. I like a cigar. So I was looking. I got myself a nice cigar from, because they have these tobacconists, and they'll tell you,
I don't smoke tobacco unless I'm traveling, and I fucking love a good cigar. I love a good ciggy. I don't give a shit. Like, I get crazy with it. I respect that.
Yeah, I do like a good cigar. I very, very, very rarely smoke them. The last one I smoked was a gift, and it was genuinely a quality cigar. Where it was sort of like a birthday present.
Nice.
But so I'm looking for a cigar like that. I'm walking around. I'm smoking my cigar, and it isn't a great one, but it is a cigar. Some guy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, would you like some cannabis?" I'm like, fucking right, I would.
Mother, may I?
My mate's with me, and again, he don't smoke, he don't drink.
Sure.
Right? And he's a bit nervous, like, it's fine. He's like, follow me. So we walks up this one lane, and we goes across this other street, And he goes up this other lane, and you know when you're getting into the more creepy part of
You know, the
this,
vibe is off. You're about to get
Uh,
robbed, maybe.
you're in a back street of
Yeah.
a back street.
No, it's you have your phone on
and
like
there's-
911 or 119, whatever it is in the yeah.
I don't know what the number is in Portugal.
It's
I
the same
don't
as
even
you.
know
It's
what
same.
it is.
It's all Europe. You guys all do it the same. Yeah.
But so there's this window, right, and it's got all broken, jagged glass in it, and he reaches his hand in like
Stop.
that. Yeah. Right, look at that. He comes out, right now. I gone like, oh yeah, I'll have some weed. Like I'm thinking, the year is 2019 or whatever the fucking is, 2020, right?
Sure.
Yeah, 2019, I think it was. I was thinking, it's going to be green. No, I haven't seen solid since I was a fucking teenager, you know? And this guy comes out with a quarter of solid, like a slice of solid.
Just
He's
brown.
like, yeah, bro.
So
and
so
you know
for
what's
for
famous?
for the North
was
Americans listening, you're speaking about hash.
Hashish, yeah, hash.
Yeah, which is
right?
more. So just to keep everyone up to speed, guys. In North America, we don't make hash because it's such a pain. But in Europe, it's easier to transport THC in hash form, which is why y'all mostly smoke hash rather than flower, if I'm correct. Or did.
Right, so it used to be that ash would come in on ships, right, from the coast.
Yeah.
And on the coastline, it was cheap, and on the cities, it was expensive because they'd go through all the hands
Sure.
on the way, right? And then with green, they'd bring it in on planes, right? And it'd be cheap in the cities and expensive further out as it passed down.
Classic.
But now, pretty much anyone can grow green, right? You know, with hydroponics and whatever. So the only thing you see now is green. I haven't seen anybody sort of like actually selling it. It's been oh yeah. Some guys got a bit. I've had like 2 joints of hash.
Shit, because that was like
outside of Portugal in the last like 15, 20 years.
wow.
Right? It's all
Okay.
green because
Yeah,
it's so
sure.
easy to
And it makes
grow.
Yeah.
So it's about the same price everywhere. And the thing is, back in the day, you know what it's like with ash. You get bits of plastic in it and glue and used car oil and
Mate, I don't because and this is the other thing. I live in BC. There is this thing. It was worldwide famous called BC Bud. Like the first time I saw a gun, and this is no lie. The first time I saw a gun, it was pointed at me, and they said, "Get the fuck out of here! Don't tell anyone you saw this." Because I was riding my bike as a little kid, and I got a shotgun pointed at my head after it was shot up in the air. And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were bears." Once they saw we were kids, so like,
yeah.
It's so much different here because they didn't. It was fucking everywhere. I live in a place where you can't even grow weed, all year round, but they still have it. There was forests of it up until the last 10 years. So we didn't have like if you got hash, holy shit, that would fuck you up. It didn't have motor oil. It was just ice watered THC. All the hash I ever smoked in North America or in Canada. Not the States, but in Canada it was just fucking weed. There was no additives, which is so wild. Smoking weed in Europe.
Yeah, what we'd call a solid. Wildly, and
I think we're losing you a bit.
Are you?
Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back.
Yeah,
no. You keep freezing a little bit, but I think we got you.
No. I'm just very still.
Just your audio, you just stop in.
Yeah, that's what
good.
I do.
Yeah, it's balanced out now. We're fine.
I'm good. I do that sometimes. That's what I look like. But yeah, no. So This guy in Portugal offered me
Yes.
this fucking shitty sliver of weed, like barely a quarter ounce of hash, right? And he's like, that's 60 euros. And you're like, are you fucking
No.
kidding me, mate?
Yeah.
Right? But I'm like, the thing is, I'm in a back alley in a back alley,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I don't want drama, but I also do want weed. So
Mhm. Oh no. Oh no.
yeah, no, I'd rather not.
Sorry, you paused. You paused that whole time. You said so, and then paused, and then I'd rather not. You came back.
Oh right, no. So I gave him his money. Is my connection that bad? Wait
Yeah.
right.
We're,
Boys,
it's on and off, but we're
boys,
good.
if
We're
you're
good.
on my internet, get
I'll-
off my internet.
Yeah, I think it is, but I'll let you know if you cut out, and we can wrap up soon too. That's so you gave him the money, you got the hash?
Yeah. And it was all right. It was good stuff, and they did me for the night or two I was
Beautiful.
there. So on the same trip, me and Robert, right, we're going out the one night, and we're just going to explore and see where we end up, right? So we walk down the street, and there's a bunch of people outside what looks like a pub.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh shit.
And they're dancing around and doing their thing and chatting and laughing and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And we go to let's go in here for a bit, like, get have a sit down. And right, so it looks like, and it's got a proper door on the front, but the
Mm-hmm.
one of them's clearly like a shutter, right?
Okay, so
it's
it looks like a business.
It looks like a business, right? But it also looks like it probably used to be somebody's garage, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or garage.
Garage. Yeah.
Garage.
Garage.
Oh.
Ah. The place you put your car.
Yeah, the car house, right? So it goes inside, and there's a bar,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this happy, smiling old bald guy behind the bar,
Love that.
and there's no seats or nothing, and it's got sort of purple lights, and it's got a sign outside that looks like it's a bar, but all he's got is one pump, right?
Yeah.
One pump of, fucking
Lager.
standard beer, lager,
Yeah.
right?
House lager.
And he's also got several 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola, right?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll have a fucking pint, please.
Of course.
And he's like, yeah, I make you a pint, yeah. My mate doesn't drink, normally doesn't drink. He's like, can I have a Coke? The guy's like, well, I don't really do it. I got lager. So we had to convince him to sell my friend a glass of Coke.
Fuck off. What? And he was like, no, but you want lager, mate. And he was like, no, give me fucking cola, dog. I'll pay the $4.
No, it's just for me. All right. I can't drink on the job.
Sure.
So we convinced him to say, he's like, yeah, good. Like, I went outside, and my mate's gone to me, are we about to get robbed or something? Is this a real business sort of thing? What's going on? There's just these people dancing around outside sort of thing to the music. So he has our drink there. And we're like, right, we're just going to pick a direction. And I goes, that way. And he's like, what, down the rape alley? It's just this fucking creepy. Yeah, let's go that way. If we're going to do it, let's do it again.
Sure, let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just like going, let's go that way. We went to a museum there which had like a fucking skull church mausoleum thing, which was literally built out of the skulls of the monks that used to live there.
Yeah, the creepiest shit. Like religious people do the creepiest shit.
It was pretty fucking creepy. I'll be honest with you, but it was pretty neat in all fairness. But it was literally made out of the skulls of the monks who used to live there. Like.
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? Could you imagine if we didn't have like there's no way you're going to just be a dude out there in a society and be like, "Let's build a house with the skulls of the dead people that care about the society."
No, man. It'll be cool. It'll be cool as fuck, man, right? What we do is, right? So when you die, right? You die, what we'll do is when you die, I'll take your skull, I'll bleach it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that'll be brick 1. Right? Right?
No.
Right? Now,
fill me up with Jello.
No. You were son, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me. Right? And so on, right? What happens when we die, right? It'll be brilliant. This is brilliant. So when I die, right? I'll take my head, or someone else takes my head.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll get someone to get it.
Well, no, I've already taken your head. You died first.
Okay.
We know you were dying first.
We do know that, and I don't know how we know that, but we know it.
We know it, right? So you die first. I take your head. You're brick 1, right? I die. I'm brick 2.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And we carry it on, right? We carry on all our mates.
Yeah.
Right.
3,
None
4,
of them
5,
are
6.
allowed, yeah, they're not allowed to have sex or shit, and they have to live in this weird commune and shit, whatever, right?
Sure.
But we'll take their skulls as well, and eventually, right?
Yeah.
If we wait long enough, they can build an entire fucking church out of it. It'll be cool as fuck, man. Seriously, man. Honestly.
I'm in.
Yeah, I bet you are. Well, I mean, even if you're not in, I'm doing it to your skull when you die first.
Please bleach my skull. Because here's the thing. My asshole has never been bleached. So if I don't have the bottom bleached, let's get the top bleached at least.
Let's get it done.
You know what I mean?
You know.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't want to get all racialist or anything, but we're all white underneath.
Let's wrap it up there. That is a great place to...
I'm talking about bones. It's fine.
Talking about bones, obviously. Nah, they know that. I swear to fucking God, it's been 3 hours and 14 minutes. If people are still here that came in at the start, they must know what we're doing by now. If you guys just got in here, tune in next Friday. We do this every Friday. Where I like this vibe of us doing the heavy improv at the start, a little wrap up show where we just kind of get to know each other a bit more.
And as a lazy bastard, it's hard to keep up for 2 hours.
Well, the thing is, and we talked about this. So, hey, guys, the reason we're doing it this way is, it is hard to keep it up. And it would be nice to get some viral clips of us saying that really fucking offhanded shit. But the reason it would be good is so people would see us saying the not offhanded shit and the not in character, and it's satire, and we're really trying to do something here with this, I think.
I'm pooing on the internet. That's what I'm doing. I'm pooing on the internet, and I'm hoping some of that poo sticks to someone's face, because that would be nice. It would be nice to poo on someone's internet face.
You're goddamn right, and I'm with you, man. I'm so with you, and that's what we're doing here, guys. So please tune in next Friday. I'm excited for some future things as well. I think we can get ramp this up, the Bens and the Bees, a little bit. I got a couple ideas floating around in my head, but it's been amazing.
No, you don't. You have no ideas.
None. Not a god.
You're right. Nothing. It's all mine.
I want to genuinely thank you, mate. I love hanging out with you. This has been so much fun.
No, I tell you time and time and time again, this is the most fun I get to have, but I love it. I fucking love it. I genuinely do.
Same.
chatting nonsense with you is just a good time for me. So this is as close I get to feeling like a normal human being, and I act like a weird human being.
Dog, I'm with you, and I like me as well. Just so you know, me as well. I do. Yeah, 100%. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, no worries, bud.
Guys,
I'll see you in your dreams.
We got 10 more seconds. What do you have to? What? Anything else?
I want to say that 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was Research Tower 7. Research Tower 7. Do your own research. Do it. I'm still going.